Gotta get that exact 20% volume level. Otherwise, I'll like lose my mind. All right. What is up, everyone? This is Do Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're gonna chat. We're gonna talk. We're gonna see who comes in just for that giveaway. There's gonna be a number of folks that are here just for that Epic Edition key giveaway that I'll finally get around to. I just straight up forgot on Tuesday and Wednesday. Technically, I can forget today too, but the plan is to not forget. I intend to do the giveaway at some point, but I'm not going to tell you when. It's just going to be whenever. So, haha. They don't give me a lot of rules when Blizzard gives me a key to give away. It's just like, you know, do a social media post, let us know how you're going to give it away, and don't break TOS. That's it. So at some point today, I'm going to give away an Epic Edition for the Midnight expansion. You know, so for the folks who want to get in for the beta, I mean, the way that it's being framed is that this wave is going to be for the people who have that Epic Edition. You will get in. Maybe you won't see an email or whatnot, but that seems to be like the plan. So we'll see what happens. You know, it wouldn't be fair to do it like right now, because it's like, oh, okay, with only a handful of folks on, it's like, okay, you guys get the highest chance, yay! But then kind of screws other people over. But yeah, it's just gonna be random whenever I feel like it. Beta's not even beta anymore. Alpha is beta is marketing. Sure, if you want to, yeah, that's not untrue, but it still functions as a vehicle of feedback, smack talk, what have you. You know, I mean, we're gonna have an early access thing that's gonna happen in December, so kind of sort of the same difference. It's all a ploy to make money. Oh no, making money? They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to give this shit away for free. Oh no. But that's just how it goes. So, oh well, no big deal. Okay, so let me set this guy to, I'm pretty sure I can't, well, okay, sanity check. There's no normal mecha gun, right? Okay, it's letting me in, but it's gonna force me into like heroic or something. Watch. Heroic, okay, cool. That's what I thought. So while I repair, how's everyone doing? Huh? Hope everyone's had a good morning or day or evening or whatever. It's Thursday. Thank God. We're still waiting on for the alpha to come back out. We haven't had a chance to see like build notes or nothing like that. The closest thing we saw were some updates that went to add-on creators about some more expanded capability. You know, and it's a whole process. This whole add-on conversation. Like the first thing that Blizzard did was knock out the bathroom. You know, if we were to attempt to use an analogy. They just destroyed the bathroom. And so obviously everyone's going to be like, yo, Blizz, we don't have a bathroom. This is clearly an unplayable house or whatever. And so they've been slowly piecing things back together, but then the way that they want it to. Of course, some things that people want, we're not going to get back, but we'll see, you know, we'll have to like really step back and look at the big picture. There were some statements that Ian made with that one interview that he did with Unshackled Fury. That podcast, and then there was another Reddit post where he finally chimed in to give some clarifications on what they intend to do. But like in really layman's terms, yeah, like they're just knocking out the bathroom, they're slowly putting them back together or something like that. So, oh well. Let me say hi to people. Who do we start with? We start with, as soon as I find it, Arumas, you the first person to say hi. Hey, what's up? What's up to Darth? What's up to Neeb and Arcadius? What is up to Fim? Hello. What's up to Mark and Lady Q, to Zabrik and X-Pac and Shiba? What's up to Endori and Fel? Hey, what's up, buddy? Gotta scroll. What's up to Stalwartine? Or Stalwartine? Accent. What's up to Ghosty and Skell? And to Rowan's Buttered Pop-Tart. What? Sorry, what? Rowan's Buttered Pop-Tart. I really enjoyed Pop-Tarts. back in the day, back in my younger days, so like yesterday, um, the strawberry ones, just that kind of perfect thing of like sweet and tarty stuff. That was good. I used to eat them like untoasted because it's like too lazy for that. And at least back in elementary school, they didn't give us like a toaster or anything because I think they just didn't trust us with a toaster. So we could buy Pop-Tarts, but we had no toaster. Yeah, that was rotten. I remember like there was like a s'mores one, but it wasn't like marshmallow flavored or anything, which is kind of like criminal. Yeah. By the way, thanks to Darth for subbing. Thanks to Felflake. What's up? And hi to the people who are following. At some point, I'll do the giveaway. I'm not really gonna say when. It's just gonna be like, oh, okay, let's get around to it. This is all region, by the way. So anyone can pick this up. At least I'm told it's all region. So this is so anyone can roll for this one, and then then whatever, if you decide to sell it or do something with it, I don't know. It's not my problem after that. I still buy the s'mores Pop-Tarts. They're the best toasted. Those are good, but then I don't remember like is it actual marshmallow in there? I don't remember marshmallow being in there. I'm gonna jump around in chat here. There's so many poop quests around. There's bound to be one that rewards the old outhouse asset. I don't know if that's just given away, actually. Watching from the South Pacific. Hey, what's up, dude? Nice. And they finally removed LUI from the add-on clients. Oh, that's the end of an era. I did see that some of the add-on changes had a little bit to do with health and resource frames, but they're being really careful about like not turning that into a backdoor for like automation and computational add-ons and stuff like that. So did early access with War Within. Don't care about that. I might care about the decor packages though. There's that. They're supposed to be altruistic good guys who are for gamers by gamers. I don't doubt that the people who work on WoW to a certain element actually play it. I don't really buy into the oh, they don't even play their own. Yeah, that sort of, there's like certain red flags. One of the things that I do as a creator is I try to read what a lot of people are saying, but there are certain red flags that I'm like, okay, I kind of tune it out. It's hard to take certain conversations seriously when I see a poster say, that sort of line, oh, they don't even play their own game, or something, God, what's more recent? Ian lawyer speak, that, that whole shtick. It's hard to, again, take it seriously. I still read it to see if there's like any nuggets of actual information in there, or to just kind of like get an idea of the weather, how people feel about things. But there's just some conversations I can't really keep. I can't really keep up with. Imagine doing a poop quest to get Azrite decor. I mean, this is the next best thing. I'm like going through garbage, so let's see if I can walk and talk and okay, I clearly can't. Let's see if I can farm and talk at the same time. All right, let me try to get caught up in chat again. Outhouse comes from Warlords of Draenor poop quest. So there's a specification. So the reason why I'm here is because I want to continue farming for spare crates. They are a somewhat time-consuming resource to farm for, and I'm almost done. I think I'm more than halfway done with getting enough crates that I want to eventually like buy a whole bunch of like cool stuff from the Mechagon vendors once early access starts, assuming that I can buy these things right away. And I want to get like contraptions for basically the cannon. I don't know, and honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to like work on it. I might just be stuck on like the cafe, and thankfully the stuff that I want for the cafe, all that stuff doesn't involve like any crazy farming or anything like that. A lot of that stuff, at least so far, the things that I want are just things I can get off of basic vendors, and that's like a big tip that I'll have for folks. I want to write a not really guide. It's going to be like how to prepare for housing. There's the double speak over there, because I do feel like there's like a certain like mental prep where there's a kind of approach that is more ideal than others, you know. And I've been kind of hinting at things over the past couple weeks or so, you know, setting more attainable goals, not trying to feel like you're racing to like get everything quickly, as if, you know, there's some penalty for taking a while, that sort of thing. What if you already have the basic pack? Does it apply the additional $40 of content, then just adds the rest of the funds to your account, or does that 50 just disappear? No. Whatever. If you were to add like, let's say if you have the normal edition and you apply the epic thing in there, it's going to credit you the difference in the form of BattleNet balance. That's it. All done. Just like how some people they'll buy the epic edition now because they want to get the codes and all that, or access to the beta or what have you, but they also want to get the physical collector's edition. So they'll order that. So once that they get that code, that is going to again turn into BattleNet balance. It seems kind of wonky until you kind of realize, well, if you do that more than once, when you do this practice again, you might be sitting on BattleNet balance anyway. So that money isn't really going to, you know, that money's already earmarked. It's not going to go anywhere, and then you're fine. But then the first time you do it, it just feels kind of awkward. Yeah. Since I'm making WoW UI more user-friendly, do you think they'll ever add roleplay profile functionality to the base UI like Total RP add-on does? It'd be cool. But I feel like, you know, I don't mean to trash talk the RP community or make it seem like they're not relevant, but if the add-on does a good job now, what does WoW need to do? Should they take it into their own hands or not? And I'm thinking, like, you know, if total, and I'm not familiar with how the add-on works, but if it works fine, does it need to do that? I don't know. Thanks to Hanoi, thanks to Skell for the primes, by the way. Much appreciated. I hope they don't kill Here Kitty. I use it to track combo points. I'm way audio keyed, so hearing my combo points rather than seeing them visually makes it so much better. I think it should almost be considered an accessibility option. I think that falls under what they intend to do, like, because your combo points, I don't know if that's good. I don't know how much that's considered like a buff, but getting a notification for that's important. So I'd say, like, if that's a concern, and if you haven't seen anyone talk about that, or if you haven't seen it being addressed in some of these conversations, bring it out, make some noise. You know, let them know that's important to you, or pop onto at least yeah. Alpha's down right now, so I couldn't even. Oh shit! Don't get the boss! Don't get the boss! Don't get the boss! Don't get the boss! Whoa! I almost screwed that up. Anyway, do I plan on making a video for some kind of housing leveling guide to decor or prep before housing comes out? Yeah, that's kind of what I was just talking about. I want to. It's hard to prep because everyone's got different goals. And I'm not the type who's going to be like, oh, here's how to get 100% of everything, because it's very daunting. It's very daunting. It's hugely resource intensive. You're going to be spending lots of time doing like old content, doing achievements, blah, blah, blah. Do this now. I don't want to do that. That feels so unhealthy. It feels so unhealthy for the player psyche to you know, do that sort of thing. Now, when it comes to like player power and stuff, you know, I don't mind catering to that sort of audience, but in this case, there's an opportunity to, you know, to address this kind of upcoming audience in a different way. I think people are gonna make guides for like go. You know, they're gonna do that. I just don't want to do that. Surnames are totally needed. Sometimes I just use the surname as I, you know, I have kind of a conspiracy theory. Like it's total vapor. It's like based on nothing. But I have a feeling that if or when the time comes when they do like a big old mega merge of servers, which I believe they'll do someday, that's going to be the time when they will add surnames, because they got to do something to address. Oh, we have all these people with the same names that are being thrown into the same server. How do we address that? And right now we have with coalesced realms, you have kind of a surname because you have your server name after it. But screw that, give me like a bona fide, like real last name. If I recall correctly, can you just upgrade the launcher for the cache difference? Not a cache difference. It would be it's BattleNet balance, if I recall correctly. A lot of it is do everything from the past pretty much. If you already have, just go farm the currencies. I mean, that has a lot to do with like the legacy content. Yeah, for sure. Like when a lot of people start with housing, they're going to get instant levels. Like my veteran account, like I've done a lot, but I'm not like a giga completionist. And I only really play one faction, so there's a lot of stuff that I'd still be missing. I can get to level 3 like right away, and that's a really good start. And I encourage folks, okay, cool, level 3 is a good start, and what I'm going to recommend to folks is, okay, run with that for right now, and then just see what you have first. See what you have first. See what you have earned, via achievements and quests you've already done. Go to your house, create the kind of layout you think you want for right now. And then sit on that. Some folks, they set their goals, they look at the very end, and that's all that matters. So it's like, oh man, I really want to have like all the rooms that I want now, and I can't have that. I'm mad and I'm upset. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. This is early access. This is, this is plainly like time-gated stuff because people are jumping into this early. So yeah, I'll see how I can frame it. It's gonna be, I'm gonna have to write this thing quick though, because I'm gonna want it out for tomorrow. I don't think I want this to be in the weekly, because I want it to be like this separate topic that's speaking to a specific audience. So, did we not get an alpha build yesterday? No, didn't come up. It's a bit weird to think that in less than a month we get housed after 20 years of waiting. That's a lot. For me, it's going to want to know where to get the things I want. The information is out there. I just need to consolidate it. Like some folks will, like, what's Dan doing? Whoa, what's Mr. GM doing? Mr. GM, he put out a video just a little bit ago, or the other day, about, hey, here's all these reputations you can farm. Boom, 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 boom. So he's showing you straight up, like, where to go and what reps. And maybe I should frame it like that too. But I've been kind of teaching people how to fish, so to speak. I've been putting a lot of focus on this housing database side because it's fucking effective. You go to Decor, you use this tool to find what you want. That's it. Like there's not much more I can say. And for me to create, like, hey, here's the reputations and blah, blah, blah to work with, I'm basically just going to go through the site, and it's like me doing a Google search for you, right? And for some people, that's still valuable. For me, that's not really the first thing that I want to do, because I could just direct folks here. I'm like, dude, it's so good. It's so useful. It's getting better and better with each build. Use the goddamn site. I think Mr. James jumping the gun on it. Clearly, a lot of housing stuff is still missing acquisition methods, so his methods will be outdated. Yeah. So, for example, like, and that does make a good point. So when I go to my sets and I go to my Minigar, thanks to the person who helped me name it that way, and when I go to the Minigar site, I can see a lot of the things that I need. So I need this many resonance crystals, mostly for. Oh, sorry, let me make this bigger. I need this many crystals for mostly the pipes. I need this much gold. Big deal. I need this many war resources. I need this many chain igniter coils, which I have, and the galvanic oscillators, which I also have. I think the only thing I'm missing right now is I need I think 20 or so spare crates, and 7,500 order resources, and that's it. Here's all the crafting materials that I need. Lumber, 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 stuff that I can't get yet. Everything else I can get somehow, some way. And then there's achievement requirements right here too. So I'm kind of going backwards. Like some folks are like, hey, here's all the reputations you need, right? I'm going the route of find the things that you want and then use this tool and it'll show you which achievements you actually need to like target. So that way you can get the things that you want instead of just like, oh, cool, I got a +1, yay. Or I get like a little bit of XP. I don't think the XP is something to like really stress over right now. Oh, and by the way, here's like all the reps that you would need to farm out too. 3 of them. Earthen Ring, Rust Bolt, Venture Co. That's it. So it's not a better approach, but this is my approach with trying to keep people sane, I think. Because when housing drops, it's going to create, in my opinion, for some, it's going to create this very overwhelming, like, oh my god, this whole game has been overlaid with housing stuff. This is a lot. And some folks are going to feel frozen because like they don't know where to go first. I want to direct folks where to go first. Yeah, I saw that 200 titanium bars. That's going to suck. But the crafting stuff I'm not going to worry about as much. But this is the list, right? And then I customize this list by adding things, and then when I go to edit sets, I just change the quantity to what I want, and I rounded way up. Give me 10 mega coils, give me like 10 pipes, 20 pipes, or whatever, you know. So I round it up, and I should be fine here. So far, how tints work is too janky. I don't want them to take up space in my inventory. I hope that changes. I mean, I hope that changes too. I never got a chance to like touch dyes, but I did see pictures of full ass inventories, and I'm like, that's not gonna work. But at the same time, you gotta sell it somehow. So I'm hoping that they just, I think they just don't stack, right? That was the problem, that they don't stack at all, because that's clearly a problem. But we saw things with learning decor. That was problematic too, and they came up with a fix for it. Auctions for old materials will be interesting to look at once housing launches. Absolutely. Do you have to craft it every time you want to place it, or is it crafted once you'll unlock it forever? Yes. Once you have a decor, not crafted, but once you have a decor learned, you know, you right click the thing, boing, it's unlocked, then it's in your inventory. I did happen to see options to destroy things, and I'm like, okay, why the hell would I want to destroy things? As far as I know, I can have like infinite numbers of these. I mean, y'all saw on Tuesday I made the whole candle thing, so I have at least like 1,500 candles. I got a lot of candles. They do stack, but there's so many. Yeah, that's true. There is so many different kinds of dyes. To that, I don't know what the solution is, honestly. How high do they stack, by the way, if you don't mind telling me? Because again, I didn't look at this. I didn't look at dyes at all. How high do they stack? I hope they at least stack high. Ultimately, though, I don't think there's anything you can do about that. Really, you can't make it a currency because you got to sell it. You can't make it into, you know, something that's, you know, just the currency tab is what I'm talking about. So what do you do? I don't know. They went up to like 200. Oh, that's got to go to. Oh well, okay. 200 is kind of a lot. And in practice, so here's something to consider about dyes. There are two ways to deal with dyeing decor. One, you're going to dye and re-dye something, or two, you're just going to buy another thing. So like if I have like 5 chairs and I have 5 blue chairs and I want to make, or if I have 10 blue chairs, 10 chairs, sorry, if I have 10 chairs and 5 and they're all blue, like, and I want to change them to red, cool, then I'll change them all to red. But if I want to change them back to blue again, then that kind of like triggers something in my head, like, dude, why don't I just get more chairs instead? So instead of replacing the colors or replacing the dies that I used, I'll just have more chairs. So there can be, in theory, and I don't know if Blizzard's ready for this one yet. You know how there's, all the permutations of dies? There's like, I'm just going to throw out a number. There's like 30 dies. I don't know. If there's 30 dies and there is a piece of the core that has 3 kinds of ways to customize it, in theory, you can have that many combinations of like that decor, depending on what dies you put in where, and that's a lot. So I'm not 100% sure if that's still a thing, but at least this is old information. When I asked about that in Boston, they're like, no, there's going to be, you can have every permutation of chair or whatever, every combination is going to sit in your house chest thing. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a lot to scroll through, dude. Dye should be added into the housing chest like furniture, but then how do you sell it? That's the thing. How do you sell them? There needs to be a way to do that. Pulling stuff out, I guess. But then that needs a lot. Right now, it's messy. Don't get me wrong. But the solution might take longer to come up with than it appears. Box it like a pet, an individual pet. That would suck, dude. Like give him an artifact tree that depletes and needs to be refilled. Now that we're getting dies for decor, do you think dies for armor is coming soon? No, not yet. I like, they would need to retool how armor looks, like from the ground up, I think, in order to do that. Because most decor is not animated, but armor, that kind of like stretches, and it's probably different. I don't know how it works, but it just seems like there's like this entire like crazy technical challenge to it. You also got the thing too, like from a memory standpoint. So imagine, I'm gonna make up numbers here. So you have a character, right? You have a character. They have a certain look to them, and their eyes look different, their face looks different. They have different hair, and then they have all their transmog, whatnot. And all of those things take up tiny bits of information that servers need to like bounce back and forth, so that way everyone can see each other and everyone's seeing their transmog and all that stuff. If we could also dye armor, that's going to add further complications to when you look at characters and when you view them, and it's going to like multiply that sort of. I'm not saying that's why it's not happening. I'm just saying that's like one of the challenges that I'm sure Blizzard has to face when considering, hey, can we just like dye armor? How many channels should they have? Should it be like one channel per piece of, can I dye my bracer with 3 different slots? What about the chest? Can I do 3 different things, 5 different things? What? So there are, to say yes is like, okay, cool, yeah, we can say that easily. But then when we start to get into the specifics and like how to do it, then it's like, oh man, we got to think of this, we got to think of this, we got to think of this, and I still want them to do it. There's just a lot to do. There's a lot of steps. Do you think Blizzard's starting to feel the pressure? Oh, I'm sure they always feel the pressure. I mean, look at us. Fans, content creators, news outlets, we're all, imagine your own job, especially if you work in an office. Imagine your job and like your boss calls you into some meeting, and they're like, hey, can you tell us what you do? Tell us what it is you're doing right now, what's your progress, and blah blah blah. And I know in my time in an office setting, a lot of the time I'm like, bitch, like, stop pulling me into this office to like talk to me about my job. I can just, go out and do it instead. Um, but now imagine you're exposed to the public. Your work is exposed to the public, and not only is it your boss, but you also have some jackass YouTuber and like a whole bunch of forums and social media, all of them breathing down your neck, being like, "Yo, hurry up, fix your game, Blizz," and that's pressure, and that's on a that's normal too. Now imagine like pre-expansion, right before housing makes its debut, this brand new feature in World of Warcraft. Oh, dude. I don't want to go to therapy after this shit. Dun, dun, dun. Just like they sell furniture like you will on the auction house when people start creating stuff. Do it like how they enchanted crests and make packs of dye. Packs of dye. But then that's just another piece of inventory. I thought we're trying to take all that dye and trying to make it not as daunting. I mean, that's kind of the problem because they introduce so many different colors, which is great, but it's also so many different colors. Wild Team did some great technical things given how old the game is. So here's a thought. Okay, here's a thought. What if I'm gonna make up numbers again here because the alpha's not up. What if there was only what if there were fewer colors, fewer pigments and whatnot, and then players just dealt with the pigments and that was it? Yeah. So let's pretend there's like only 5 pigments. I'm super making stuff up, okay? What if there's only 5 pigments in the whole fucking game? And then you amassed a whole bunch of them. And it's going to take up 5 slots in your warband inventory, whatever. But then when you go into the house, right? Then the UI, when you want to dye something, it's going to take certain numbers of those pigments. So it's kind of like what it is now, but you don't have that extra step of turning pigments into ink. Does that make sense? Kind of. I mean, it's kind of similar to what's going on now. It's just that you would play with more of these pigments to create to paint stuff, and you interact with it directly there. I don't know. But yeah, I do feel like there's like a lot. Give each profession a section of the dyes they can sell in the auction house as dye packs. The packs refill a tube in the housing edit area. I think that's kind of close to what I'm saying too. I agree. The devs also feeling it, and also who knows if marketing side of things are also constantly asking when things will be ready. Well, that's different. I don't think marketing is talking directly to like a dev. It's more like marketing talks to like a middle management person, or they talk to Ian or something like, or a producer or something like that. So lots of little tendrils going on in game dev. Just like how you can buy 4 chairs from a vendor, you should be able to buy 10 dyes from the auction house, and it goes into your furniture interface instead of your inventory. If you buy another blue dye, it just adds +1 to your blue dye in your inventory, just like if you buy another chair. Do it with the step of incorporate. Yeah, kind of, Zabrik. That's kind of what I'm suggesting. Okay, how many different dyes are there? Let's do some math here. I want to work with some real numbers. I don't know if anything has an answer here. Nope. That's what I get for not looking into a system. Oh, buddy. 62. And 10 dye pigments. Do you know, is there any point to housing besides the fun of making it, like buffs or something? Like, what's the point of going to your house and spending time there? I'm not seeing a point besides decorating. That's okay. That is 100% okay. If you don't see a point in housing, just don't bother. Or make money off of it, because there are a lot of suckers out there, right, guys? Suckers, yeah, yeah. If it doesn't, if it doesn't like pull you in, then don't force it, right? Don't feel like you gotta, hey guys, what's the point of housing? Convince me. Yeah, don't do that. You know, you don't need to, you don't need to be convinced. Like, it's cool. Okay, what's that? Oh, the die swatches. Okay. It's me, I'm sucker. Yeah, I'm a sucker. Right here, buddy. Right here, buddy. Okay. Oh, dude, you linked everyone. That's gangster. Okay, so you put a, you straight up put every color on there. That's neat. I mean, it's the context of a fireplace, but it does help to get that. So like, check it out. So this kind of an idea of what we're looking at. All right. So lots of different pigments, lots of different color combinations. And now, if I recall, the way this is supposed to work is you go into the UI, or you go into customize mode, you click on a fireplace, and you might see 3 different channels or whatever. But let's just stick with one. So you click on one of those channels, and then you get the selection. I'm just trying to remember this. You get the selection of like which color you want. And then when you choose a color, it's going to tell you which inks are consumed by that, right? And then you choose. So I guess the best solution, you know, if we wanted to deal with the whole inventory bloat, is to not deal with, yeah, I guess not do inks and just work with pigments only. So like, instead, like if you wanted Cool Tyrian Steel, instead of needing like 1 black and 1 blue ink, making it up, it's going to ask for the materials, the pigments that are needed to make 1 black and 1 blue ink. But then we just don't deal with ink anymore. We just deal with pigments. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because that way we only deal with these 10 pigments. And now you're only effectively taking up only 10 slots of inventory, because for the most part, I'd like to think that normal people are not going to need 1,000 pigments or 1,000 ink for their housing stuff, because that is fucking crazy. I have a feeling that dyeing and re-dyeing things is not normal behavior. Folks will probably want to just buy a replacement item, maybe. Or if anything, they're just going to dye something once and then never bother with it again because they're happy with it. Or it's going to just be like on occasion. Amassing dyes is... Yes, it's not a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Because I don't think it'd be worth it to try to dye something and then sell that on the auction house, because I don't think it'll work like that. I think the things that do sell on the auction house, they're not painted. They're just plain. So I don't think you get a decor, paint it, and then put it back up. That's not a... I don't recall that to be a thing. Where was I? I think you'd only be able to dye already placed items and have a preview of how the item would look, see if it fits the room. How about, like someone said, if you want dye, you have a container that someone makes and you buy the container on the auction house. Then in the town with the vendors, there's a vending machine. That feels like a lot of steps though. Puddle. That feels like a lot of extra steps to like do the dyes and get that stuff set up. And I think it just needs to be like, you know, simplified somehow. So like, I guess the brain practice is, how do we achieve dyes with as few clicks as possible and with as little inventory bloats as we can get away with. And the only thing I can come up with is to do away with the inks. Oh, I'm sorry, doing away with the dyes altogether and stick with pigments. Or, take or just take the herbs and whatnot, and then they just instantly become dyes. Whatever you want to call it. We're just like messing with words now. Hey, so how hard do you think it is for a casual to build a PC? Oh wait, to build a PC or a house? There's a big difference between a PC and a house. Giveaway today when? When I feel like it. Can you preview how an item will look in the different dyes? Yes. When you're in the UI, you can change like each of the channels. Yeah, there's between 1 and 3, I think, and then you can see what they look like before you finalize it, before you consume the dyes. So you can see that. Now this right here, these are already spent. Like these are like spent in place, spent in place, spent in place. What I meant was, if I can build my house and it's done, is there a reason to go back and spend time there? I don't think we can craft there or do an auction house. I'm confused about the long-term point. Unless it's just to build and be done forever. So, the way that I look at it, and I don't think you're trying to be a dick about it, lady. But the way that I look at housing, I look at it the same way I look at this. Right? These are my accomplishments. Look at my achievement score. My God, I'm so good at this game. What housing does for me, and you just gotta ask. Everyone's got their individual thing to it. For me, this is a way of taking the last 20 or so years of me playing this game and putting it into this kind of statement, this kind of expression that I can share with others. That isn't just, hey, look at my score, because that's what this is. Housing is me showing off my score, but also adding that flair of imagination. Now, what happens later? If I put together my house, if I just want it to be a house, what do I want to do after that? Really depends on your imagination. For me, I'm not making a house, I'm making a coffee shop. But on the outside, I'm making a giant cannon because I feel like it. I don't feel like making a house. Houses are boring. I specifically chose the location of my house so that way my pretend cannon has something like cool to aim at, because I'm not going to make it in a forest. That's kind of a stupid idea, right? It's Legos. What's the point of Legos? That's the kind of that's kind of a parallel question to ask. Why do people buy those? Why do people build and rebuild stuff? Some people, they will buy the set and they'll make it exactly the way that the set tells them to, and then they'll hang it up, and then that's it, they're done with it. That's fine, right? And then it just sits there forever. Some folks, they're creators. They want to take these parts and like turn it into something else entirely. That's fine too. So it just depends on how you want to consume that. Where was I? If you can be done with the house, you might not be the target audience. I mean, it's fine if people just want to like have it and then cool. The devs will consider that a loss. But it's like, what if something cool comes out that you want to be like, oh, I want to hang that up. I did this in the game, and then here's like a cool thing to celebrate that with. So, and then yeah, like Leahy is saying, like, there's like some social aspects to, hey, come to my house, we can role play, we can do these other things. WoW is a lot of things. Not everyone cares about a lot of these things, but there are other audiences out there. It's not just us. You know what I mean? Just worried I won't be good at it. I'll tell you this, I'm not good at it. I've been a big proponent of housing for years. I'm not good at it. Straight up. I'll tell you that. It's not going to be talent. that's going to make me have like a cool spot. It's just going to be a lot of trial and error, screwing things up, and seeing what we can do. It's going to be a lot of me doing like the basic stuff. I'm not going to, you know, like the things that I've been showcasing have been like really talented folk that have been like, they've been taking these things and clipping them together to make something entirely wild. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be pretty basic for me, at least at the start. And then we'll see where my imagine takes me. Might not take me that far. I might continue to suck at it. So. All right. Just a basic cannon, nothing fancy. A basic cannon. Nothing too great. Okay, did I do a good run of this, by the way? I don't even know how much stuff I got. So I got, oh boy. Actually, okay, I got at least 500, it looks like. Yeah, I got at least 500 for that. Okay, so let me get out. And then I'll clean up my inventory, actually. I want to clear out all my spare parts, make the crates, and then we'll go from there. Larry, hey, what's up? UI takes quite a bit to get used to, at least on the PTR. Blizzard saw fit to not send me alpha for the first time since, I think, Cataclysm, so I've not been able to test like on. Oh, that sucks. What did you do? I'm just kidding. Okay, I am here in Mechagon, and here's the dude. All right. So I am just making crates. Crate. Do you have any particular aim for your cannon? No, not really. Right now I'm probably going to be working mostly on the base of the cannon, and so I'm hoping and praying that they fix the whole lighting situation with outdoor decor. That way I can have like all these different ethereal pipes that are like kind of shooting in and coalescing into a spot, and then I'll go from there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But like the ethereal pipes, they just feel like a really cool thing to have. So I definitely want to hold on to that. Will the Spell Cycle quest come back for anniversary events? It's never gone away. You can do it right now if you want to, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can just do it. And we're doing a roulette. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you go to someone I mean, you still need to complete the steps like it started, but yeah, I think you can. I think it's always been up. Oh yeah. The tabard just wraps it all up in weirdness. Oh, that's a barrel mace thing. I'm not familiar with this. I think this is like a BFA thing. No, Pandoran Peace Offering. That's fitting. You need the detective title. I thought you could still get it though. I thought you could. Not sure I'm starting to get into alpha. This time around for War Within Alpha, I saw some people on stream showing the breakdown Blizz sent on their feedback. I must have like 6 or 7 things out of 34. I didn't do. I tend to not do a lot of bug reports, honestly. Like for things that are. There are things that I look at and I'm like, okay, these got to be known issues. I'm not gonna bother with, you know, doing a write-up on this. Usually it's stuff that I might be like, okay, this is kind of weird or odd. Or if I fall through the world, that's always like good because that indicates a flaw with the automation testing. But then a lot of those times, those things are known too. You can only finish the detective title if you started it. So if you started the last anniversary and you didn't finish, you can't. Hopefully they bring. Oh, okay. So it's just the detective thing that's not available right now. Yeah, I thought it was. Bummer. Thankfully, there have been. I wonder what's going to happen with the Mountain Dew cycle. That was an interesting approach. I bought a lot of chips. Bought a lot of chips with that. But then I remember the best value was like one of the Mountain Dew things, and then hopefully you got it on sale at your grocery store. So I did have a handful of codes to give away. One dude, I think it was Higgins, he straight up bought like pallets. He bought pallets of that shit. I don't know what he did with the cans. I don't know if he resold them or like gave them to food banks or whatnot. But yeah, some folks they went crazy with that whole thing. And then I think he sold the codes like $8 a pop or something like that. So it was, I think he came out with a profit from that. Yeah, the do cycle had over 10,000 credits. I can't get any more codes. I would have. Oh, that sucks. Because I recall, because you could buy multiples. I recall, I did that, but I only got so many. Yeah, because my I guess in my part of town there just weren't a lot, and I don't want to do the whole Higgins approach and like buy them in bulk. Bought a bunch of small bags from dollar stores to earn the points. You bought it for in-game gold. Okay, right on. Yeah, it sucks that it was US only. That's always a bummer. But I have a feeling like there's just that's laws for you. If Blizzard could, they'd probably do the same. They'd probably do it in EU because it makes them money. But oh well. At least there was like a path to get it. Like it would suck if it was like region locked. Like yo, dude, that's distressing. And now that we have this like new avenue of reward with housing, what's next? Or what's next in their spigots of promotions? Are we gonna see this shit in cereal boxes? Are we going to see like the Prime giveaways come back? Like what's gonna happen? Twitch drops have been something that they've been happy with. I think the Prime, I think the Prime giveaways, those came off as kind of awkward to me because it kind of communicated to people, yes, spend $100 bucks on this yearly subscription so you can get this pets, so you can get this banner or whatever. And that's, I don't know, I didn't like that vibe. Twitch drops are very benign. Show up, right? Using creators as your marketing arm, easy, no big deal. It's compartmentalized, but I don't think that's bad. Kind of feel like we got some promos like a bike promo coming for midnight. Could be. I mean, the marketing's gonna be fierce with this one for sure. They have this avenue of marketing housing as like this thing. It's a thing to go for, guys. Come on. Game Pass stuff for cosmetics. I don't know about that. I mean, it remains to be seen like how they want to model Game Pass for a subscription game like WoW. I think they did. I think someone informed me that they do have something for ESO. Ooh, I forget. Yeah, they do something for an MMO, but for WoW, I can't help but think of this one model. The only thing I can think of that can work good for WoW would be you get a couple bucks off, knocked off the subscription cost. So it's as if you're on a yearly or a 6-month subscription. That's it. So you just get a discount. I don't buy into the idea of if you get Game Pass Ultimate, you also get a WoW sub. I don't think that works out. I think that's Blizzard losing money, straight up. And I don't think that's a good value prop. So it can be as simple as, hey, if you link your Battle.net account to your Microsoft account or whatever, then your Microsoft account will, your WoW sub will always have the discount forever. And you don't even need to you can just do month to month going forward. You don't have to commit to the yearly or the 6-month sub in order to get like those free mounts. You'll just automatically be hooked in as long as your Game Pass sub is active. That seems to make sense to me. And I'm in combat. Look. I never sell stuff. Please. Yay. Oh, that's it? Oh, no. Have I been enjoying Remix or just mainly testing alpha? I've been doing both, but I'd say like I haven't been doing a lot of Remix stuff lately. I'm just on for like the bare minimum, and that's about it. Like I feel like I'm in a good spot for getting a lot of the bronze things that I want, or, you know, getting a lot of the housing things that I want. And if the time comes and I want to get more, then I'll just pop back into Remix. But for now, I'm like, I got 100 some versatility. What more do I need, really? I'll do the achievements, you know, that's about it. Just to make Game Pass give additional tender? Oh, I think that'd be pretty fucked up. I don't think they should do that. That would be, it'd be clever, but I think that it's a step over the line. Just a step. But I don't think it's a good step. So, but what do I know? It would make engagement metrics hell because they'll have to directly measure playtime as a proxy of success instead of subscriptions. That leads to time gaining and slog to pump up. What? Have we? Wait, we jumped to that? More has like 600 viewers. Dream has 500. You have 400. Nice. Yeah, yeah. That man, I'm sad. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm a $1.20, $1.30 at most, I think. I don't play any of the game, but I feel obligated to get the Game Pass for the tender. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if it's like I could see a promo though. I could definitely see that. I could see like, you know, if you're a new, oh, that'd be fucked up too. You know, sign up for a free trial for Game Pass and you get some free tender, cancel anytime. I could see that. I could definitely see that. So assholes. Yeah, that would be it. That'd be the promo. Sign up, free trial, link it to your account. You get a free you get 500 tender or something like that. Nah, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be good. Give me like 1,000, man. And then cancel anytime. That's it. People would pay the extra for the tender. I mean, people would straight up pay for tender if they could. But I think the point is like they don't want to create this this FOMO situation. Like, I don't know if someone has, but someone can pretty much measure or add up all the tender that you can get outside of the monthly tender that we get now. Someone can add that up. And that's, to me, that's the difference between tender and other kinds of virtual currency that you know, that a lot of like free-to-play games and other games, they'll let you buy infinite amounts of it because you can keep pumping into the game. Tender is that's not what tender is though. Tender has, you know, even with like the incredible amounts of items that are in there, it's still a fixed amount of stuff that you can buy ever. So yeah, I was making a spreadsheet for a short time and I'm like, I'm not interested. I just stopped after a while. Okay, so how many things did I get with this one? So I got 500. I got about 600 with that one. So that was pretty good. That was a pretty good pull. And I'm being so slow. Am I doing the giveaway soon, so? I don't know. I don't know. My tip, don't ask. because I'm not going to give a good answer. I'm not going to give an answer that'll make you smile. Right. I guess the important thing is I haven't done it yet. Right. I imagine that tender doesn't have housing stuff attached to it, but the new Hearthsteel is now part of the monthly tender track. I can see Saul getting super upset. I just don't think that would work very well. It would feel super jank if you have like this other like monthly budget thing that comes with like free stuff, but it only comes with it only comes with tender. I mean, that's why they have endeavors in the first place, because it's kind of the same thing. That's like the approach that they're taking. So I definitely see, and I've been predicting that that Hearthsteel is endeavor currency. I don't have proof at all. I'm just speculating, but I'm pretty confident about it because it just makes sense. What do you think about the new shop currency? It's state of mind. I shared my takes on it. Like I strongly believe that it's going to become the endeavor currency that we earn each month from neighborhoods, and that's it. Every now and then they might do the same thing with tender. Well, they will offer up some sort of like bundle promo thingamajig. Like I even predicted like they might do something with the midnight pre-order stuff. Well, they'll just flag all accounts that have the normal, the heroic, or epic edition, and then they'll give Hearthsteel towards getting endeavor stuff. Maybe. It also gives that, it does send the message, and I was asking about this during the housing interviews. I was like, so is there a scenario where we will run out of stuff to buy? And it's like, oh, I don't care about any of these endeavors because I have all the things, and that sucks. And, the way that they answered it, it kind of suggests that sort of like tender, or sort of like the trading posts, there's going to be like new things that are added in such a way that repeat endeavors will be encouraged because maybe you didn't buy everything yet, or maybe because new stuff came in. So that's what convinced me that endeavors are going to definitely have that trading post vibe, both the good and the bad, because people are going to be like, I only have so much of this currency. I'm not going to call it Hearthsteel because that's kind of misleading. I only have so much of this currency and I can't buy everything. Grr, I'm really mad. Blizz, fix your game. It's a valid criticism, but also it could be a lot worse. It could be a whole lot worse too. And by that I'm talking about, they go really, really hard on like just selling a whole bunch of stuff on the shop. Unpopular opinion, I don't care if it's a premium currency on target audience, take all my money. I get it, but I think it just, they want to send a fair message to players, I think. We don't want to whale you. There are no WoW whales, really. Where like someone feels like they're winning all the time. There's no famous player out there who's like, oh my god, they're always dominating the charts because they buy everything. That's not a thing in this game. It's different. It's more like, well, the race to world first people, they get all, they get all the BOEs first and blah, blah, blah. That different approach, kind of the same thing, but I at least want to acknowledge that that's how it works, but it's not the same as like other games. An endeavor currency would add exactly the motivation to do it every month, even if you have everything. Exactly, because hey, what if the rounds of endeavors that are available, what if they suck? Hey guys, hey, it's Soul with another video, and this month here are the endeavors available. I will do those videos, and here's what you can get. Here are the items available. Hey, are you gonna save or spend? The one thing that I don't think it's going to do, I don't think it's going to be updated as frequently as the trading post, because with the trading post we see something new every single month. A round of new items that we haven't seen before, well, outside of data mining. But I think with Endeavor, I think we're going to see repeats on a more regular basis. but I'm guessing. So, what do I know? The top player is well known to have bought accounts for PvP, but I mean, most of the so-called pay-to-win conversations have to do with player versus player kinds of stuff, dominating leaderboards, with regards to, again, player power. I get it. Getting the top collection, that is a leaderboard as well. I've seen things like data for Azeroth and like who's like the top person in the region. That's a thing. But it's also not quite the same thing that we're talking about when we normally talk about the idea of like pay to win and the more predatory nature of gaming. Like there's no as far as we know at least, there's no loot boxes for random decor. And it definitely doesn't feel like that's like in the cards as like a plan for what they're doing. Ah, that dude knocked me back. Jackass. It's kind of worth visiting Old War 2. Small tip, because there's some good materials that you can get from there to either use for your crafting of decor or to just sell. You just wanted to do that. Having an exchange rate between tender and housing currency would be a good idea, assuming they're both hard gated, would get people who don't care about housing stuff to do it. Oh, so people who want to use one way, is it like a one-way exchange? There's just going to be a Discord where people can like neighborhoods where people can get the vendors they want. Maybe, yeah. But then the people who are in those neighborhoods, they still need to like put in the work. How do you think they'll do cash shop decor if it isn't with Hearthsteel? Easy. Shop. Right? Open the shop. Featured game upgrades, mounts, transmogs, pets, toys, decor. Pick a thing. Hey, look, decor. Boom, boom, boom. Cost $10, $10, $5. That's it. That's all they got to do, man. There's no there's no, it's not crazy science, man. You just use your good old currency. Scavenger hunt quests are kind of loot boxes of minor decor, but I think that's a set pool though. I don't think it's like anything. If you're in two neighborhoods, will you be advancing both endeavors at the same time? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's yes. The one thing I'm not sure about, that we haven't gotten clarification on is, okay, it's a new month, and all the public neighborhoods, they'll automatically choose between whatever endeavors. Like it's probably going to be a pool. They'll choose whatever endeavors. And then the private neighborhoods, the neighborhood manager will need to like show up and log in and be like, okay, let me choose an endeavor. What if they don't choose an endeavor yet? Like let's say it's the first day of the month and the neighborhood manager like is away. They're off somewhere else. There's no other manager available. And so the rest of the people in the neighborhood, they start doing stuff. What happens, right? What happens when the manager comes back and then chooses the neighborhood? Is that effort from that first day lost? Or is it somehow like retroactively like added in? I don't know. So those are things I'm kind of interested in knowing. And depending on how it goes, we're going to burn this thing to the ground. I'm just kidding. Boom, boom, boom. Honestly, it's got to be better priced than the ESO house items. I'm sure, because ESO's it's a buy to play, right? So they don't have they have a subscription model, I believe. But it's mostly like you buy once and then then you can do stuff. But then you get better stuff if you pay like the monthly fee, right? So, the monetization is just different. Burn this thing to the ground. I'm just kidding about stuff, Gio. Do you happen to know if I have to do breaching the tomb questline on every class if I want to get the class mount on? As far as I the breaching that questline, no. I think it's just the class. I don't recall every requirement. Mainly delicious, but you just need to be able to do the class campaign. There's that's a lot of stress on guild masters who are going to be in charge of most neighborhoods. I mean, there was a when you go into the guild permission thingamajigs in the settings here. So if you go into guild ranks and rank permissions, down here there was a thing called neighborhood manager. So that way that person will be able to choose the endeavor and also kick people out of neighborhoods and stuff like that. So that's a thing. You can assign people, you can assign other people the role as well. But I won't. I won't though. Because I'm a crazy person. I will be on reset. And I'm going to be like, all right, baby, what kinds of endeavors we got this time? Let's go. Mechagon again. Boom. And then the guild's going to be like, oh, God, he fucking chose Mechagon again. I'm like, you're the best. And I don't got everything yet. They're like, we don't give a shit about Mechagon. So I'm like, yeah, well, too bad. The door is right over there. Yeah, so. Yeah, if the coffee endeavor comes up, every time. Every time. All right, see you later, Neeb. So monthly is like the WoW sub cost, but then you get goodies, you get crowns, you get the currencies, right? That's their virtual currency. And then you have perks, more bank space, more housing slots. Yeah. So that's cool. Hey, that's the business. So I you know, when it comes to like premium stuff, I tend to be very amoral about it. Like, yo, that's what they're doing for money. But what can I do as a player? I can just ignore it. And I do a lot of the time. They do give me stuff. Blizzard gives me stuff. So that's why you'll see sometimes like things that I normally wouldn't have, I happen to have. I'm like, oh, I can't mount. Might as well. They're giving me the code. So big FOMO houses can cost 17,000 crowns. That is about $100. And if you're relying on your monthly, so is there a path, Iris, to get that house without? Or I guess I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Can you earn crowns normally? Are crowns only for people who throw down money? No. So you can. So a person can work towards getting that house on their own. I always find that to be like, it's okay. There's no exchange between in-game currency and crowns. There is a crown to gold second market, but it's sketchy. So like a third party sort of thing. Tell me about that real quick. I'm kind of curious. So are you going to have regular housing reviews to make sure people are doing good quality stuff or risk giving up their spot for others? No. I'm not going to do that. I mean, if someone made their house and quit and they're gone for like this long, then yeah, I'll do that. But if your house sucks, I'm not going to. If your house sucks but you're still playing, maybe I'll talk to someone and be like, yo, dude, like no, I don't know. I haven't really put much thought into it. Because we have, like, you know, it's a guild. We have infinite spots, pretty much. So I'm not going to be super. If anything, that sort of situation fell, it's going to be on a very case-by-case basis. I have a feeling I'm going to run into that kind of scenario very few times. Because you need to have, you know, combination of things. One, someone needs to have a house that sucks. Or something like that. Two, we need someone to have to want that plot and is butthurt that they don't get that plot because someone's already there. And then 3, the person with the so-called sucky house needs to get all butthurt that they're asking, hey, this dude keeps hounding me about it. And I feel like that's a lot of ifs. I don't feel like I'm going to run into that. What's up, then? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to run into that. Yeah, it's not a problem until it's a problem. So I feel like I feel confident. For the most part, like when I looked at the housing assignment spreadsheet thing, it didn't seem to be a big deal. The only thing that I'm going to really enforce is I'm getting my 27. That's like the one rule. If someone dares, because of lag or some other stuff, try to get on my plot, you're getting blasted, yo. I'll make sure I'm recording that. So I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna click this thing, blah blah blah, right click, boot from house, get out. You know, that'll be the only time. Which one is 27? Plot 27 in Razorwind Shores, that's the Horde side, is the highest elevation, and it's on a plateau, so it's by itself, and then there's like only a couple of trees, so that way my fake cannon can point to like a good vantage point, a good vantage spot. That's it. Hey, 10, I don't know if you know, but player housing's coming really, really soon, and like I'm treating it like Legos. So what I'm gonna do is make a big ass cannon. 10 knows. 10 and I, we go back. We go so far back, and we would spend hours in his garage, sometimes my garage, usually his garage, him and his brother, and we would sit in silence playing with Legos. That's it. And then we would make the stupidest shit. Usually mechas. And all that. Okay, let me find that picture. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know how much you've been watching the channel or not, but I want to show you like a thing. I know I have it somewhere. I just don't know what. It's the picture of the robot. It's that one robot thing. Because it's so good. There it is. Someone made this with like different assets and stuff, and they made fucking this mecha thing, and it looks really cool in the rain. That's like the best part. It doesn't move or anything, by the way, you know, if only, right? But they made this like monstrosity of a thing. This is just sex. Oh man. Anyway. Yeah, there was only one conflict. And I think they talked it out. Right, Grim? Or do I need to speak with him? I'm not sure. The guild drama for plots is going to be wild. It can be, yeah. It just depends, right? Like, as long as the leadership is kind of on top of it and is consistent, then it shouldn't be a thing. It was Grim. Grim's like talking in third person. No, that's not so bad. Now, Grim, if you talk to if you refer to yourself as the Grim, oh, that's different. But yeah, dude, 10, it's awesome. Like they just took a bunch of parts, and you can freeform clip things just fine, and just make like super monstrosities like that. And then right down there is the house. This little shack of a house. So my plan, dude, is to take too bad Alpha, I don't think Alpha's up yet still. My plan is to get like a whole bunch of like these different like pipes and whatnot, and I'm gonna create like this thing that kind of looks like Midgar. So I'm gonna have like this, that you know, this kind of like piping that kind of comes together in a central spot. Find where I want to make a reactor or something like that, and then a giant cannon on top. That's the plan. It's gonna be cool. But on the inside, it's gonna be a coffee shop, or it's gonna be a cafe. But then behind the cafe, it's gonna be like the control room for the cannon. So it's gonna be like this kind of like gritty looking setting. And then elsewhere, I'll have like an actual living space and like just a place where I have nothing but shields. Yeah, it's gonna be like the Juno cannon, but it's just gonna be way more ridiculous. I have like a whole shopping list of garbage that I'm gonna be picking up, and that's what I've been doing here on stream. I've just been gathering garbage, literal scrap, so I can put stuff together. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. Yeah. If you want to get back in, sure, dude. But of course, I think that's the third time you said that in the past 5 years. So. It's gonna be great. I'm also getting my feelers out for BlizzCon stuff too. So I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a smaller crew. So we'll see. The control is simply for the overly complicated espresso machine. Oh, if I can do like piping or not that, and then it just connects to an espresso machine, that would be hilarious. Solarix, hey, what's up? First time caller. Alright. What am I missing? I am the Grim. I moved my plot because adversaries made a reasonable reason for the spot, so I moved across the map. Right on. Have I tested the high limits? What do you mean by high limits? I remember Cognac. Weren't you a demon hunter? I think. Because I thought you tried. I thought you were hanging with us for like a few raid nights during season 1 of this expansion. How high can I build? Oh, okay. It's pretty high. Now, that said, the way that works is janky though, because there's only a certain radius. There's only a certain height you can go until you leave the boundaries of housing, and then you just get nuked out. The way that it would work though is if you were to connect a whole bunch of pieces together, and then and if they link up properly, then you can just take the bait. So it's kind of like what I did with the original cannon setup that I made, where I just stacked a whole bunch of stuff on top, and then I took the base, lifted the whole thing up, and put it on top. So the objective would be, I would need to create like this base and then create it at like as high of a point as possible, before I actually leave the UI, and then build from there. It's gonna be weird. Yeah. So that giant's gonna be built. Oh yeah, I mean they made this, or someone made this. I mean it's it's obviously not a functional thing. It doesn't move around or anything like that. But yeah, you can break down a whole shopping list of like what these parts are. Like it's a whole bunch of these like Tesla coil looking things. There's a bunch of these I don't know what to call it. It's like this L-shaped contraption looking thing, but then they're like stacked on top of each other, like upside down. Like this is a big version. This is the one that's just kind of shrunk down, and it connects to this ball sack sort of joint here, and that's a treasure chest. That's a teleport pad kind of thing. It's just a bunch of stuff. It's a bunch of stuff. Yeah, you can. It'll be cool. It'll be very cool. I don't think we've seen this. I want something like this, dude. Give me this as an asset. This would be a great part for the gun. Yeah, either as like a big central piece, or I'll just like shrink it down and it'll be like a part of it, something like that. That'd be cool. Looks like the new crazy remix farm is the Centenax, and boy is it boring. Lol. I mean, is it just like mob farming and that's it? I mean, is it really faster than like doing? Well, I guess after you do mythics, then maybe that's a thing. Instead of someone asking for a shot of espresso, they ask for a cannon shot. Okay, so what's my shopping list again? My shopping list is 45 spare crates. And I'll be in like a good spot. So now I'm at 30, I think. Yeah. I'm at 31. Okay. So I do like 5. I get like, I think like 2 per run. So that won't take very long. Yeah. If I didn't like stop and interrupt myself all the damn time, then I can be done with this farm in just an hour, something like that. All right, 10. Take care, man. By the way, it still gives the best reward for your time. This feels like a number 2 at the moment. So it's like hey, if you got time, just keep if you got time to hard farm, that's Centenax is the place to go. Okay. Only other person is tentative and not locking in until everyone else does because they aren't really playing right now. Is that Verdant? To be fair, I would have paid Grim to move if it became an issue. So which spot is that you're going for, Mark? Did it for around 30 minutes, got around 5 ranks on the weapon, up to 885. 5 ranks on the weapon? But it's better than keys. Okay. Yeah, I'd say like unless you're smoking up really high level keys. But like I guess if you just do like a really farmable key, then that's okay. You don't have to go at a really high level. There's like a diminishing return for your time spent doing like a particular level of key versus just doing a lower one, bringing it back down and just keep farming in a difficulty that's comfortable for you. And over time you get stronger as well. You're doing it faster, then you can start incrementing yourself up a little bit. Ooh, Hearthsteel's up. Oh, fuck yeah. Let's talk about that. Oh, boy. I want to be surprised by this one. All right. Cool. I actually didn't expect to hear about this so soon. So don't surprise me or don't spoil me. Even the music pauses for this one. All right. What is up, friends? This is Sol with another video, and today we're doing a blog read, as I usually do, but this time it's a topic that is close to home. Oh, I thought of that one like right on the fly. That was pretty good. All right, we're looking at a developer insights. Hearthsteel, virtual currency, and housing in Midnight. Ooh, they're in trouble. Okay, let's see what's going on. Hello, everyone. We want to take a moment to discuss some of our philosophies around the shop, Hearthsteel, and our plans around housing, items, acquisition. Before diving too far in, it's important to define what Hearthsteel is. It's a new virtual currency for World of Warcraft being added in the Midnight expansion. It's purchased with real money using your Battle.net balance and used in turn to buy housing items from the Battle.net shop and the in-game shop. So it is not what I was hoping for. It does not appear to be the Endeavor currency thing that I was hoping for. Trouble. Anyway, at the top level, our main priority is making housing fun and player-friendly, something that can be enjoyed by players of all kinds. To that end, here are a number of our guiding principles. The vast all caps, vast majority of housing items are and will continue to be earnable in-game. Only a small fraction is available for purchase from the shop. Comparing this number against collectibles such as mounts is a good metric here, with more than 1,000 mounts earnable in-game and only a few dozen from the shop. That's not going to convince anyone, because the whole principle of the thing, right? Housing items tied to core fantasies of a player's race or class or that already exist in Azeroth won't be sold in the shop. Thematically important decor that players know and love will also not appear in the shop. So what we're going to see is just things that are not normally part of, like, I guess, the WoW universe, or kind of like traders kind of like the trading post. Some items, they just don't really like fit in. So that's kind of the vibe we might be going for. And I think there like are some examples that we see there. All housing items in the shop will be available for individual purchase. Oh, so you don't, well, anyway. While we'll still sometimes offer sales on bundles of items for a limited time, you shouldn't feel like you have to spend your money now or risk missing something you want. Costs in the shop are clearly defined. The ratios of Hearthsteel to real money are fixed and easily understood at a glance. You should be able to obtain an amount that makes sense for the purchase you want to make. Similarly, the cost of items are designed to align with Hearthsteel offer amounts in a player-friendly way. Buying Hearthsteel at the amount you want lets you purchase the items you want without requiring you to think about which pack should be added together to minimize leftovers. So it's going to be that kind of thing, where it's like, hey, I want to buy this pot, and it costs 50 Hearthsteel, but I can only buy 100 Hearthsteel at a time, and I'm not fond of that approach. The shop user interface is meant to be straightforward and easy to understand. Hearthsteel should integrate cleanly into the existing Battle.net economy. This means not just being able to purchase it in-game or on the web or in the launcher, but it should be compatible with the normal flow of the WoW token, letting you earn gold in-game, and then use that gold to ultimately purchase Hearthsteel via the WoW token. Hearthsteel is for housing. We have no plans to use it for the trading post, transmog, mounts, other stuff. I'm still not fond of like the initial approach because it's like, why don't we just buy the stuff? Why not just put it up for cash money? So why a virtual currency? This is one of the first things we heard the community discussing. Why bother when we already have a Battle.net balance? Yeah, buddy. It's important to note that when dealing with in transactions involving real money, a more deliberate and cautious process needs to be implemented to provide appropriate financial protections for both parties. This can be an inefficient, inconvenient, and often tedious process when a player wants to purchase multiple items. Let me reread this, that last sentence, last few things. It's important to note that when dealing in transactions involving real money, a more deliberate and cautious process needs to be implemented to provide appropriate financial protections for both parties. And it can be an inefficient, inconvenient, and often tedious process when a player wants to purchase multiple items. Smaller housing items in the shop. Okay, I think I get what the approach is here. Smaller housing items in the shop are often low cost, and players will want to purchase multiples of them to complete a set. As an example, you may want a full set of chairs to place around a dining table, multiple place settings for your invited guests, or even as many candles to help decorate your room for a complete look. Using an in-game currency can help make the process of obtaining many of these types of inexpensive items more efficient. So what they wanted to, so we'll continue on with this, but the thought right now is, if you wanted to buy like just a candle, just give me one candle blizz, that's all I want. And monetary wise, it might be the equivalent of 50 cents or something like that, but they don't want to nickel and dime you like that necessarily, but it still kind of is. So, okay, so here's the housing catalog, and this is this does have that whole in-game shop sort of vibe. It's just not directly with real money stuff. This is something that we commented on during the Boston trip, and I fondly remember. I can't play the audio, I'm not allowed to, but I remember myself saying, no, just don't have that. Don't do that, Blizz. Just put it in the shop, separate from everything else. There's a shop button. We don't need something like this. We don't need a front-facing thing like this. But here's what we're looking at. And in the case of wanting to buy things with Hearthsteel, there it is. You buy it, or you add it to your total balance, and like there you go. You may have already seen hints of this on the alpha or PTR, but we're adding a housing catalog to the housing UI, which allows players to view all potential housing decor from that are earnable, purchasable, special promotions, and so on, and lets you not only preview it in the UI, but also place a temporary version of it in your home as well, so you can see how it fits before deciding if you want to spend time tracking it down or purchasing it from the shop. Oh, okay, so this is like, oh, this is the catalog thing. Oh, that's kind of cool. So shop aside, that's a cool feature to give us an idea of like previewing items before we, go farm them up or whatever. So it works for uncollected items, period. We said it before, we'll keep saying it, but please keep your feedback coming. We're so excited to continue to share more about the future of housing and in the coming weeks and months. So I'm still not a fan of how this is going to be I'm still not a fan of not being able to just buy things. But this does introduce the whole idea of, okay, if you want to have I guess I'm mostly focusing on this paragraph here. If I want 50 chairs, I'm going to throw down to buy 50 chairs. Extreme scenario. But in the case of, hey, I want to buy one of this, 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 and they're like it's just this kind of mix and match of what I want. This allows players to customize so using virtual currency allows the player to customize the kind of spending that they want to do, as opposed to, like, let's say, hey guys, for $15, here's a set of 4 chairs, this crazy chair looking thing, and a gazebo looking thing. But what if people are like, well, I don't want the gazebo, I just want this hangy thing right here, but they're not selling it as a bundle. So I think I would prefer, um, that we be able to buy things just full a la carte without having to do the middleman of the Hearthsteel thing. But I can see why, from a transaction standpoint, why it's the cleaner way of doing it. So, oh well. I know what I typically do when it comes to like premium, you know, bundles, housing, and stuff like that. You guys might have seen like how I treat stuff like this. I typically just don't talk about it unless like the whole debate of premium stuff comes up, the debate over shop items stuff. You'll hardly ever see me talking about like, oh my god, let's check out this thing, you guys should get it. I'll never really do that. That's been my approach. It's there. Sometimes they promote it on like the launcher and whatnot, and if it's there, great. And otherwise, as long as this is kind of like out of the way for me, I wouldn't mind this so much. And at least they do have they are suggesting that there's going to be like a clean path that goes from, gold to WoW token to Hearthsteel. But we don't know what the specifics are right there. Oh well. The last thing that I want to hold on to is this initial bullet point, that just like how the shop is right now, it's a minority of stuff that's available on the shop. People can successfully argue that the best things are available for a premium price, and I don't like to say, oh well, they're just trying to make money, this is how they're going to, that's just kind of it is a foregone conclusion. But I do at least appreciate that, unlike some other games, when it comes to pets, mounts, transmogs, and stuff like that, what the shop offers is pretty benign compared to other places. There are a couple of things on the shop that you don't see in game, or you don't see like this kind of model here. But at least more lately, we have been seeing things that kind of overlap with things we can get in game, but it's a different color, or things we get from the trading post that also happen to be a different color. And then there's also the future of how Hearthsteel is going to be treated. Like, is there going to be some sort of way of earning Hearthsteel in game? I think that the approach was no. That it's going to be something that you can only get from the shop. So not having that path, that kind of sucks. But there is a WoW token path to do it. People don't really agree with that necessarily by principle, but that's something that I know I fall back on. This is okay, but I can definitely see why it's not. And those are my takes. All right, this is a working stream. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so what did you guys say? I saw some of what you guys were talking about here. There's no real reason other than exploiting customers for having a premium currency. I mean, like I said though, like if they just sold it from the shop, it'd be the same difference. But but what the currency does, it just creates it allows for these different kind of a la carte purchases, instead of like seeing in your bank statement 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents, or something like that. This is the ultimate reason behind making the system have a finite number of furniture items, like 5 chairs, instead of just have a chair you can place as many times as you want. I mean, that's normal though, right? I don't recall other traditional games with player housing that offer, okay, you have it once and you can place a bajillion of them, because that wouldn't make much. That seems kind of odd. I feel like the currency should be given a bit for free on a sub, like the trading post. It would do a lot to help people feel like they can get shop stuff if slowly, but I guess being able to use the token also fixes that. Yeah, the token is one thing to point out, is that the wild token's not going away. So that still seems to be a protected thing that Blizzard's still okay with, and they probably had to clear it with Microsoft as well. So thanks so much for doing the key giveaway. I haven't done it yet. So it's like the wild token, we can purchase it with an in-game gold and set amounts. I understand they're a company, yada yada yada. They're not infringing on core class or race fantasy. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So here's actually, I wanna show you something too. There was something that had been shown by, I believe, the MMO champion team when they were talking about Hearthsteel. It's somewhere here. So here we go. So here's what. No, this was not it. Actually, this was kind of it. So there are certain items that are labeled as shop. You know, and it's just the question of, okay, how does this fit into like World of Warcraft? And I guess this is just like, maybe, not sure yet, an example of some of the things that are being offered that I guess, you know, it's not related to like our class or whatnot. You know, it kind of fits with that mentality that they're trying to push, but I don't know. Just thanking you in advance. Cool. Appreciate it. 14 items are not even per account, they're per character. Granted, you do have a chance to earn them in game before they go into the shop. But then even then you only get like a fixed amount, right, Mia? Like you can't just place like a bajillion of them, can you? I'm definitely gonna buy that lion plushie decor. Yeah, there are more items that are flagged with the whole shop thing. Actually, I think they're here. Yeah, so like these are the items I believe that are flagged as like shop stuff. So like there's these plushies that are here. And what are some, okay, so here's the chair that they're talking about. So that's a thing. And hopefully you can actually sit on the darn thing. What else we got? We got, yeah, so it's basically this kind of like pink spring vibe. So this will be what's first introduced into premium housing. So if you want this kind of cherry blossom tree, cool. What else we got? We also have one with a stand or with like a little pool in it. Here's a different one. Come on. Doesn't exist. It's invisible. That's cool. So cherry blossom stuff, garden gnomes. So if this is like our idea of what the premium housing is going to look like, and it's not showing up, but we could at least see like some of these previews here. There's a garden wall lamp. Nope. Oh, here he is. So these are the kinds of things that are the premium items, I suppose. Yeah. And that's it. Okay. You can buy as many as you want, either in game or once they make it to the shop, but it's one piece per purchase. So it's not like, you know, buy it once and then you just have a bajillion of them. So, all right. Cool, we're working. All right. What's up, Boomer? I feel like Blizzard's been responsible more or less in the monetizing of things. I mean, it's something you can't help, but you know, it's just a matter of like, what do we want to do? We'll give our takes. Right. I did some short recordings for like featuring those things, so I'll try to put that in. All right. So here's the initial recording. It's not a fan of Hearthsteel news. It sounds like the first step down a slippery slope. I mean, where does it go though? How far does it slip? Because this seems to be like they can't really get any further than this. I actually do think it would be more scummy if they only offered like these things in bundles, because that would be the first reaction from people would be like, can I just buy these a la carte? Because I don't care about this or this or this. I just want this. And I want like a bunch of them. So like if they sold like a whole tea party set or something like that, what if I just want 8 chairs? Do I need to buy 2 of these 2 entire bundles to do that? No. But that's where I fall back to. I'd rather just buy them a la carte and just pay cash, and that's it. But it's effectively the same thing anyway. So it's not that big of a difference. The difference is principle. That's the only difference, really. But I'm sure on the back end, the difference is credit card fees, you know, and credit card companies taking a cut, and that wouldn't be good either. So yeah. Having infinite quality of decor, it would be kind of insane. Yes, I definitely want to have a house made up of nothing but chairs. Just chairs, baby. Thanks for all the chill streams. I usually hang out here during pre-expansion content. Keep being chill. I try. I'm cool with the Warcraft stuff being obtainable via in-game means and being more obscure, unique, or real-life type things like the Garden Gnome available in the shop. I mean, those kinds of things, they don't interest me at all. For some folks, I saw some folks commenting on the chair that they look cool. Yeah, I'm not going to judge. It's just not for me. Now, if they come out with like some techie looking stuff, then I'll be like, ooh, this is neat. But would have to wait for that to come by. So, you know, and if they do treat this like the shop, and we only see like a thing every month or so, well, whatever. I'm probably gonna not really notice. Appreciate the time you give to content. I can't imagine how hard it is to edit for YouTube. It's not bad, but like this is going to be like the most quote complicated edit that I'll do here, because I need to find a good spot to put in some of the additional footage that I grabbed of like the shop, and I'll do some minor edits. But it's also going to be very uninteresting because you're not going to hear any of it, because I'd rather not let you hear me navigating the timeline. That'd be kind of lame. Alright, so that's fun. Wait, did I edit this too many times? Nope, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so that's like the end, but I want to inject like these 2 other clips here. So there's these 2 things to put in. Yeah, they're just really short clips, so. So for those who aren't familiar, like I just do a quick kind of like an audio enhancement sort of thing to make me sound more manly and yeah, do that. All right, so yeah, so I cut that in. Okay, so there's that, and then I want to put it in somewhere. Shoot. Actually, no, not there. Your manly vocalization noise made them. How's the audio cleanup? I just run a quick filter. So I run a couple of things. I don't know if you can see the text. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the text there, but I run like a couple of things. Now this is also on top of the filter that my audio mixer software uses. So it comes off as deeper than it is. Okay, I think that's a good place to put them. I don't know how good it's going to be though, but all right. So unlike other times, I'm gonna put in the music stuff just to soften the voice a little bit too. Take note who the target segment is for those Hearthsteel shop items. They're all cute and friendly. Who would be likely to buy them? If you want to know what in-game profession items are going to sell, how was observation? What kind of items was it going to sell for real money? I mean, at a glance, there's a pretty big difference between what is premium and what is not. You know, and at least for me, not really interested. That's not me trying to downplay. That's just me looking at the items. Hey, do I like them? Nah, not really. Not a big deal. Let's see. I mean, in fairness, again, like sometimes they give creators stuff. Like when we do giveaways of things, they usually give us a personal copy for ourselves as well, which is like, hey, that's neat. So like the Epic Edition giveaway, they gave me one too, you know, disclosure and all that. So outro, and then musicas. I talked for 13 whole ass minutes. Good for you, soul. Good for you. All right, that's ready to go. Yeah, these are like, you know, these are just reactions. These are react edits, and I'm not the type who's going to who does like the big zoom in. You know, I try to limit that to like certain kinds of videos where I do that. But some people, they try to make it really eye-catching and dynamic, and I'm not. That's not me. Adaptive noise reduction and one other. It's nice that they finally added some better audio cleanup options to Premiere instead of having to export to Audition and back to Premiere. Oh no, I use Audition. Yeah, I mean, it's just easy. That was one of the main reasons why I bothered with an Adobe subscription, is because Audition just has like some really powerful stuff that offers like the additional enhancements that I can just like plop it in and then I'm done. So I'm thinking because they're going to launch housing before midnight launch is going to be really good. I mean, I don't expect, I don't think we should expect these things to be in, well, maybe they can launch it during early access. Not really fond of that idea, but I mean, they can. Oh. Thumbnail time. Okay, it's been a long time, but maybe I'll do my face on the thumbnail. It's been a long time. I don't think I've ever done it here on it, you know, while when I moved here. I don't think I've done it yet. So what would a face of disappointment look like? Stubbles kind of crooked. Just I'm not really disappointed with him. Whatever, dude. It's whatevs. Where's my thumbnail? There's my thumbnail. The shield dropped, and that shield dropped. Yeah, I'd be buttered over that. So now I need screenshots of that. Now this I haven't done in a while. Making a thumbnail here on stream. Shoot. Okay, come on, one more second. Hurry up. Point was, if you want to choose what lumber you want to farm the lumber that's used for cute items. They were tailoring. Oh, okay. Do we have any idea on pricing? No. Don't forget to do a roulette. I'll forget. By the time I'm done with this, I'll need to do another one, or the queue will be up for doing another one anyway. But yeah, I'll try to remember to do it. Yeah, don't ask for, yeah, you want to time the roulettes right. If I'm actually in game doing stuff, that'll help. If I turn this into a working stream, it's not going to work out. It's, you know, it's the timing won't be so great. Okay, so that's a candidate. That's a candidate. No. That's a kind of look of disappointment. Okay. So's that one. But then that was before I tried to fix the stubble. Yeah. That's also kind of look of, oh boy. Oh, what have they done? And that's about it. Okay, that's all I got. Okay, so since I haven't done these in a while, I wonder how the background removal is now. Since I've never used these kinds of shots. Could be fun. Could be fun. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, wait, hold on. Don't fuck it up. All right. All right. So remove background. Let's see how Adobe does. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, they even got the camera thing too. Oh, okay. Well done. Well done. So let's take these out. And then we'll play with what we've got. Been trying to submit for roulette all day. Oh, really? No, Panda was able to do it. That's odd. Okay, so alpha's not up, so I can't really use anything there. Should I just use something like this? No. I should be using the background for the blog post. Duh. Okay, not that. I guess this would be the closest thing. Oh, that's not a great. Yeah, I don't know if this is a great picture to use, but I guess the point is my face of like my face of half disappointment. So so that can go there. I know I have like a whole bunch of those little Hearthstone, not Hearthstone, those little assets though. Shit. I know it's somewhere around here. That's the problem with me not, I tend to not delete assets as I throw them in. So shit, I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know if it's here. Yeah, I don't know if I have those anymore. Fuck. Those were cool. I really liked what I did with those too. Oh wait, no, wait, here they are. Yes. Okay, so we got those, not that, and then we'll get to the face here, and I'm gonna want like some of these. So, all right, let's play with this. What should the thumbnail say? Virtual currency incoming. I was wrong. They're doing it. Okay, so bring these down. Okay, I don't need all of these. That's kind of extra. There's that, and then we'll have a little bit of that. Put that aside. Oh, the bag is good. Okay, the bag's there. Okay, so which face of disappointment? Oh, actually, no. We should put these here too. Oh yeah, that'd be. Okay, I'll work on moving these assets like a little later, because I want to like put the gold things around there, you know, showing the takeover. So it's like, do I do all of the faces of disappointment? No, I can't do all of them. That's too many. That's too many. Okay, so what's really happening? Give me some feedback on that, because I'm not so sure how I feel about that those lines. That one can go. I don't know about that one. No, not that. So. Or should it be like this order? No, I'm like behind myself. That's... Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, you're not even seeing any of the cool shit. Hello. Okay, so here's where we're at. These two look too similar. But then if I only have two, then it's weird. This is already weird. But if I only have two faces, then that would just be kind of odd. It's like, why do you have two of yourself? It's like, So let me take these now. And I gotta drag these layers all the way to the top. So, oh, where'd they go? Oh, my bad. Lower. There we go. Okay. Oh wait, no, they gotta be higher than the logo. Shit, logo's all the way up top. All right. I'm very not fond. So during my time as during QA, one of the rules at Sony is you cannot obscure trademarks. And so whenever I see other creators make videos, I'll be like, oh my god, they're covering up the logo. God, that's so infuriating. So I want to be kind of careful here how I do this. So like this one's good as like a bed of sorts. And then this one can sit here. This one kind of sit in the middle. But then now my face, that doesn't work though. Because my face that's actually, if I move it here a little bit. Actually, I'll just move this. There we go. Brilliant. Soul. Brilliant. All right. Yeah. Never cover the trademark or the title of the brand. That's like not good. So anyway, I need to adjust these a little bit. So I typically do this, but then I also try to make it not pop too much. So like you see the difference with one phase versus the other. I think it was one of my guildmates who was like, dude, you're trying to make yourself look white. I'm like, no, it just pops better. Jesus. You know, as I bring that down, yeah, that's too much. You could put the dollar eyes on one of my faces? No, that's lame. That's very much, oh my god, macros. I don't know. I do that mocking stuff. Like, it's not like I don't do that, but nah, that doesn't feel right. Instead of the first two, add a new with a hand covering the face. That's played out. I feel like I feel like the face palm is like an overrated thing. We're now pretty much got confirmation that we will be able to buy auction house and bank access to player houses. Oh, did we? Wait, was that a thing too? I don't remember that. They're willing to sell Brutosaurs for premium prices. They'll sell housing for high prices. Business-wise, it's the most logical thing to do. At some point. At some point. At some point while it's going on console. So, oh no. We better react to that. This works fine. I think this is good. Good enough, that is. Alright, so let's get this upload going. Where is it? It finished, right? Okay, it finished. Cool. Cool. All right. At some point, the everything app might buy Microsoft, and we'll have an auction out. Oh. On a scale of 1 to 100, how would I rate the currency news? How would I rate it? Based on what criteria? Preview speculation. Because I don't know 100%. I mean, I'm confident that those items that we saw, that's it, but we're not a bajillion% sure, so I should give him the benefit of the doubt. All right. Hearthsteel, you doofus. How many? I'm not. Chat's right over there. I'm like, okay, how many people pointed that out before I noticed? All right. Okay, cool. No one caught me. Yes. All right. So, oh, I never saved it yet. Like this, look at him clicking. Not just one face, but 3 faces. And where'd the music go? Wow, it's really soft. Okay. I don't like that you don't unlock item, but you have to buy multiples. I mean, that part does kind of suck, where it's not like you buy it once and then you can buy more with gold. So, or something like that. But at the same time, how do you control that? Because I mean, we see that with other things in game. So like, we can't just buy something that you buy with order hall resources or honor bound medals or whatever. You don't buy those just once and then that's it. You still got to go out and like farm up more of that stuff in game at least. So, all right. All right, so I think this one's good to go. All that copium that I had just all washed away. Ain't that a bummer? Ain't that some shit? Okay, I just need to do a sanity check here. Beautiful thumbnail. Oh boy. All right, and we are good to go. All right, so where was I? Where was I? I know where I was. We're doing a giveaway. If you're on YouTube watching and you want an epic edition of Midnight, you don't want to be on YouTube right now. You want to come over to Twitch. I'll give you guys a little bit to hoof on over. And shortly, we'll do a giveaway of one key, and just one. It's available in every region, supposedly. That's what I was told. And let me make sure it's still there, that I didn't lose it. There it is. Okay. I hope my bot's working. Let's make sure. I think it's working just fine. Okay. Just like every other giveaway, it's going to be done the same way I do it. You want to make sure you're following the channel. That's how you can chat. And then I'm going to ask for like a certain key phrase. And to make sure that this thing works. I'm gonna do a sanity check here, because I haven't checked this thing for a bit. So I'm just gonna make the keyword hello. Can someone just type hello really quick? That's as far as I need the test to go. Just say hello, and then it'll pop up here. And okay, cool. That's it. That's it. You're fine. I just want to do like one quick check. I'm not going to choose a winner because that's like such bad juju. If I hit choose a winner and then it chooses someone, then they don't get chosen. It's like, you know, wasting your 100 roll for like something that really, really doesn't matter. Okay, so that's fine. That works fine. We're good. So once I choose a keyword, then or a phrase or whatever, then we're good to go. While we wait for people to shuffle in, you know, just to make sure folks all have a fighting chance and everything, because there's 100 some of you, so it's a modest amount. You guys have a fair chance of getting in on this. So what does this thing come with? It comes with the game, or the expansion. The big thing is 2,000 tender. Hell yeah. Housing early access, which is going to happen in like less than a month. You get one character boost, which is a pretty good value. You think about it. Because with the character boost, I believe you get like free reputation and all that stuff too. So your reps will be boosted to a certain point in case you're like new, or if it's a new account, whatever. And then the Epic Edition comes with like all the good stuff. So you get beta, which is going to happen next week on the 11th, after maintenance and problems and all sorts of other stuff. Early access, you get early access. You get 30 days of game time added to your account. There are 2 pets of a, let's see, can we see them? Yeah, so you get, there's a selection of pets. There is a transmog set that you get that come in 2 colors. There's a mount that also comes in 2 colors. You get decor. Here's a light. Here's a blood off base version, and then here's a void version. Very cool. What else is there? There is a fountain thing. Cool. And you get paintings. So the cool thing about this is that when you have this and you're able to, you get one of these paintings right away. There's a vendor in Silvermoon where you can buy more of these things. So if you wanted to just like plaster your room with like nothing but aerators, hell yeah, dude, go ahead. Ceilings, floors, walls. Assuming that this thing has collision, it can be your bed, your chair. Dude. Yes, I want to sit on Erator's face. Sure, why not? Totally not weird. Make sure that there's no ad break. Where's my dashboard? That's a good idea. I don't think I have one coming. Nope, I do not see one coming. So we're good. And if it did come, then I'm just gonna wait even longer. That's no big deal. So, oh right, I need a phrase. Let's see, where'd it go? I lost it. Shit. Yeah, where'd that be? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're fine. I got this under control. All right. I love Hearthsteel. Oh, that would be messed up. Oh, so yeah, the catchphrase is virtual currency is great for the gaming industry. Yeah, that would great. That would go off so well. I love Taylor. Oh, look at that. Like, look at that. I'm him. He just said it unprompted. You know what? Me too. I think she's great. I want it to be like Japan, I love coffee. Okay. I'm purposely taking my time on this, so I'm gonna irritate you guys. Where's the Zalatos? That would be funny as well. I like how I always turn the devil on Soul Shoulder for a change. It's not about food this time. Oh, food. Ooh. Food, huh? Shouldn't upgrade. Okay. Damn it. Okay. One of you like actually typed in what I probably wanted the keyword to be. So now I gotta think of something else. Sheesh. No, I can't think of anything very inspiring this time. Bummer. Yeah. So let's make it nice and easy, okay? If you want a copy of Midnight, type in... Oh, wait. Oh, ooh, it messed up. Ooh, it messed up. Hold on. The giveaway thing got all jacked up. That didn't work right. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Woo! That would have been messed up. If you want to win a copy of Midnight, type in the word coffee. That's it. Just coffee. Coffee, 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 coffee. I hope this works. Okay, cool. It's working. Yay! Oh. I'm still thinking of yesterday. Yesterday was such an embarrassing day for me on stream. I was pissed. I was so pissed at myself when that person helped me out with the Zalatath drawing thing. Oh man, that was something else, dude. That was something else. So I'll let this thing populate for a while. You know, let you guys chill, do your thing. But I spent an inordinate amount of time setting up this mug. So I did the mug concept, and I finished it, and I submitted it, and I have a prototype coming. It's on its way, but I wanted to fill out the space with something, and so what I did was I went out into WoW. I went in game, and I went over to Nyalotha, and outside Nyalotha, there's like all these like different like old god-looking glyphs that are around, and so I took a screenshot of them, and I did some finagling with like masks and overlays and copying shit and all that, and I grabbed all these glyphs, and all of you are like, oh yeah, coffee, like your Pokemon. And so, here's like the front of it. And then on the side, it's going to have like these, this kind of brushed glyph kind of thing here on the side. So if you go close, then you can kind of see like it does have a sort of brushed look to it. And I thought it was kind of cool. So I'm hoping that so I'm mostly worried about this. I'm mostly hoping that it comes out right. And if it does, then great. Then I will put it up on the store and all that. And I think the price of this was $13 or something like that. The shipping sucks, but it's like $13 for the mug. And I tried to make it so I make as little money as I can. like when if I set it too low, then the website will say, nope, it's too low. You got to at least make $3 in profit. I'm like, okay, fine. So I make as little money as I can. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna wait another like 2 or so minutes. By the way, I'm being very generous about this because I only have the one code, and I want to make sure that folks have a fighting chance. You only have to enter once, and you're good to go. So I see 109 people down there. We can all see that. You think it looks good? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's the plan. So it's gonna come in 2 sizes. So this right here, the Bob mug, as well as the very similar Copium mug. These are like 11 ounce. So it's like normal. And then there's gonna be a 15 ounce version as well. Can I give 180 codes? Well, if I did, then I would have only 113 to give out, and so I would get hooked up. I would count for the rest, so... yeah, for big mugs. That's an actual rune alphabet that they made, so that might be random gibberish. Oh yeah, I don't know what the hell it says. I have no idea. Okay, so 1 more minute. My bad. Yeah, 1 more minute. I'll be right back. $1.16. All right. Is that wall bathroom tile? No, this is felt. This is a it's kind of a no, not felt. It's a corkboard. Actually, it is not actual tile. Cork material. It's pretty good too because it's like super light, pretty thin, and it does a decent job of absorbing sound, which was kind of the point, but also it looks pretty nice too. All right. Who's gonna win? Huh? 3, 2, 1. The winner is Meow. Meow? Meow, you have 1 minute to say something. Respond in chat. Otherwise, I'll give this away to someone else. 11, 12, 13. 4, we're gonna wait. Nope. There you go. Congrats to Meow. I hope I pronounced that okay. Let me get this code to you right now. Congratulations. And you know how I said I only have one code to give out? That's technically true. But come back some other time, okay? Yeah, just a hint. Come back some other time. For those who are just like here for the giveaway, that's all I got. So thanks for coming. And if I never see you again, I'll be really sad. But all right, let me get this thing out before I forget or send it to the wrong person. I've actually done that. That was also very embarrassing. But you'll never know the details because it all got resolved. Okay, so paste it here, not into public chat. The boxes are so close together. Okay, so boom, 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 done. Okay, code sent. Congrats to the winner. And again, thanks for coming. Yay. Let me get this code to you right meow. Ha ha ha. And I did pronounce it right. Excellent. Excellent. I'll still be on for a bit. I'm just going to be doing some more like Mechagon farming stuff. So real talk, folks. How do you feel about the Hearthsteel stuff? You know, how do you look? I guess. How do you feel about it for you personally? Right? And you know, we can't really help but feel it. I do it too. How do you feel about Hearthsteel for the game? You know, for everyone else. Inject, you know, project your values. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Indifference. Is there going to be a new Gnome Depot and Stormwind when player hasn't come at all? Ha ha ha. I expected it, not surprising. I feel like it won't affect me. It doesn't matter. Hearthsteel's bad. I won't be buying stuff with cash. Hearthsteel is going to inflate the WoW token. It might start inflating it now. But then, of course, like the items that we've seen, I'm like, you know, does it appeal to me? No. Like a lot of folks, like I noticed a lot of folks who are like, oh, the trading post has like these crappy items. They need like real badass items and stuff like that, like they have in the rest of the game. But I'm like, okay, there's the rest of the game. Hello. I can't help but think that we're probably going to not really see a lot of like, here's this badass thing in premium housing. So it's just annoying. I'd rather pay strat. I do find that obnoxious. That to me, that's like my biggest knocking point. But I also understand like how that looks from you know, behind the scenes, a transaction standpoint and all that. You know, this would make Blizzard more money, kind of. I don't like this plushy girly pink stuff that's offered first, but it's expected. Hearthsteel's fun, I guess. I want them to sell tender on the store. Trading post for me is all sorts of frustrating, but hey, I'm a collector of everything. Personally, I need to know what's available for me if I want to care to buy it or not. Like you, I'm not a fan of a thing costing 45 Hearthsteel, but I can only buy it. Yeah. So I'm not too keen on that. But that's also kind of what we deal with the WoW token right now. Because if I were to buy a WoW token with gold, then I get $15. I don't get 10. I don't get the exact amount I need. I get $15. And so if I want to buy a thing that costs $25, well, shoot, there's fucking $5 in the damn Battlet thing. Now I know that I can spend it later, but it's the same principle. So we deal with that now. And that's why, while I don't like the whole idea of this whole conversion process, we already have it. So at worst, it's just obnoxious, and I don't find it to be like, oh my god, this is like so ethically because we live in this world already. So a little sad it's on a hand-in-hand thing with a trading tender or just for housing, so I don't get to use tender on housing stuff. At the same time, I would, there's the whole FOMO thing of like just having tender and then, oh, okay, I don't have enough for housing stuff, or I got to make a decision, It's a predatory currency system where the bundles for Hearthsteel will be just under or more than what you need, so you'll always have extra. I mean, that's a little, but the difference again though is that we're it's the whole nickel and diming kind of thing. I would be much more butthurt. I would be a lot more butthurt if one, Hearthsteel's a thing, but two, they only sold in bundles. To me, that would be the worst if they were to take that approach. Tom K, hey, what's up, dude? I would be much more butthurt if they went the route of selling just bundles of decor. So that's kind of fucked up. I would want to just do, I would just want to buy stuff a la carte. And this at least provides that opportunity to buy it a la carte. Yo, dude. Okay, so we doing a roulette. Okay, this is good. This is like the first good roulette that I've seen in like weeks. If microtransactions are going to fund housing development, then that's fine. I don't think it's going to be that simple. It's a pipeline of revenue, yeah, but I don't think it's really going to translate into literally the proceeds from housing are going to go towards XYZ, as if we know where it's going to be earmarked. It's going to go into that big old pool of money that Blizzard's going to like do whatever with. Now, if I can convert in-game gold to Hearthsteel, then I love it. I mean, you can. I mean, they made it. They said they wanted to make the process kind of clean, or I don't know what that means really. But basically, if you want to turn Battle.net balance into a WoW token into Hearthsteel, then you should be able to. Now, I wonder, is there going to... Yeah, because I don't think they're going to do something like turning gold directly into Hearthsteel. That's not going to be a thing. Because then that bypasses the player economy. That turns into an actual gold sink, as opposed to turning into the WoW token first, because then it's still part of like the player market, and instead of it being a gold sink, it's more like gold exchanging hands from one person to another, and then the other person who gets the gold, they'll use it on whatever the hell, right? What if it ends up being a currency you earn by doing neighborhood events and you spend on the house? It's not. Like, there's already a thing in there. Let me see if I can cleverly pull it up. So we go into like the data mining thingamajig place. And I think it's called currency types. And then it's called coupon, I believe. Nope, not that one. Coupon. Here we go. So this is the currency that's most likely going to be used for endeavors, because the description is right there. It's earned from completing endeavor tasks to support your neighborhood and its friends. It's used to purchase items from endeavor traders. That's it. Boom. Yeah, take care, Tomcat. What's the add-on that lets me resize my windows? It's called BlizzMove, which works in the alpha, by the way. So there's that. Yeah. So let me show you the quotes. Just for folks who might have missed it too. So something token. Hearthsteel should integrate cleanly into the existing Battle.net economy. This means not just being able to purchase it in-game or on the web or on the launcher, but it should also be compatible with the normal flow of the WoW token, letting you earn gold in-game and then use that gold to ultimately purchase Hearthsteel via the WoW token. So now here's something that I'm wondering. You know how so we predict that there's going to be this that you could just pay money for a certain amount of Hearthsteel, all right? Now, what if they did something like, instead of, how do I describe this? How do I describe this flow? The flow would be, I have a lot of gold. Yay, cool. I go to the auction house, I select a WoW token, I buy a WoW token. Grab it from the mailbox, cool, I got it. What I'm predicting, maybe, is if I click on that WoW token, it's going to give me 3 options. First is to apply this directly to WoW game time, and then I get a month. Cool, we know that. The other option is it's going to convert into $15 worth of BattleNet balance. Okay, cool. The third option, the new option, would be converting this WoW token directly into Hearthsteel. So I'm going to guess, in the interest of fairness, it's not going to give like a special denomination that gives us more or less Hearthsteel than if we did it with real money, but it would just allow for like fewer clicks, as opposed to buying the WoW token, turn it into BattleNet balance, use the BattleNet balance to buy Hearthsteel. That can be a thing too, but if there's a direct connection, I think that's what they're implying here. You know, to just buy $15 worth of Hearthsteel right away. Does that make sense? I hope so. Because that would work, and it would create that kind of sense of, okay, I'm not dealing with real money. I'm just dealing with gold, right? I'm using my gold to buy a WoW token. I'm using a WoW token to buy Hearthsteel. I'm using a Hearthsteel to buy stuff. You know, so. I'm okay with the caveat. All that transfer currency across a corner disguises a little bit how much it is in real life money, so I hope they'll have to display the real life money worth under every bundle and item. Transparency is king. And from the sounds of it, they can, and I think in Europe, that's like one of the regulations that they want to push, is that they should show the actual value, and they can follow that rule. So yeah, if EU says follow that rule, Blizzard will be like, all right, because that's what it sounds like they can do. So. It is law in Europe. I thought it was more like a regulatory thing, and ultimately, like, if a country decides differently, then they can decide differently. But I think in the interest of just making it easy, they just do that anyway. But yeah, not like I live in Europe, so. Having to process a whole bunch of 20-cent transactions can lead to failed processed and lost items, whereas if we could just buy $5 worth of currency and let the in-game item processing, they aren't dealing with banks and credit cards. Yeah, it would be like, you know, on the back end, it would be like be all these extra transactions towards credit card companies, and, you know, all sorts of fees and whatnot kick in, and that's kind of annoying for them, I'm sure. That's the case for every EU law. Individual countries can, in theory, just pay fines to not implement them. Oh, okay. Cool. And that's Hearthsteel. So it posted, right? Oh, I like that. Hearthsteel, as in S-T-E-A-L. That's a good one. That's a good one. Very clever. I haven't thought of that one. Hearthsteel, get it? Oh. Okay, I think I need to rezone, just in case. I'm sure everything respawned, but I'm not sure. For digital goods, companies usually comply since they target the whole market, not individual countries. I mean, there's only a couple of instances where they have to like obey like a certain country's laws, where they just don't allow certain kinds of transactions to happen at all. So that country is just, you know, you just can't access it. But those are, I can't think of a a WoW example, or you know, there aren't too many examples of that. All right, Baneleaf, take care, man. Did I see the TNG Enterprise Lego set? Insanely cool. I have not. No. I'm not a big. I'm a Star Trek watcher, but I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself like a fan. But TNG is like a good thing for like syndicated. You know, oh, let's look at a space adventure, and that like that's cool. DS9 is arguably my favorite though, because that one had a you know, that also had like kind of an adventure of the week sort of thing, but it also had like that long narrative with the war and stuff like that, and I just like the darker tone of that series. So it's $400. God damn. Well, I mean that's Legos though, man. Legos are just hella expensive. It's like it's not quite up there with printer ink, but it's like one of the most, you know, one of the more valuable resources on the planet, according to weight. I want to do a DS9 Lego set. That'd be cool. It would be pretty complicated though. Yeah, that'd be a complicated build. It would have like a bunch of large pieces for like the, you know, the pylon looking things on the side. Yeah. But yeah, you'll never you know, I'm not the kind of fan who's gonna buy a Lego set for it. But it's cool. That is neat. DS9 Lego Oda is just some silly putty. In a bucket. No, it's gonna be a bucket with a face on it. There we go. The little Riker Lego has a trombone. Oh, that's cool. That's right. There's a thing where they like play music and stuff, or they do band stuff. I guess that's what it opens up though. It opens up like all these different like, you know, special Star Trek parts to like make other ships, other models. See, and that kind of goes to show like the whole thing with housing, how you can like take these basic sets, put them together, make a thing, but then turn into something else entirely. That's a lot of pieces though. 3,600, but yeah, $400. That's a lot. My brother-in-law, he was interested in getting, I don't know if he got it or not, but he was interested in getting like this Lego Death Star looking thing, and I was like, dude, that thing looks whack, because it's not like the whole Death Star, it's more like a slice of it in the middle, and it has all these set pieces and all that stuff, which is cool. But when I looked at it, I was like, dude, how's that thing gonna stand? Like, if that thing tips, you're done. Like, you don't, it doesn't have a good base to it. Like, you need some sort of hopefully like the pieces would come with something that helps it to support it against the wall, so you know, kind of like a shelf, you know, those tall shelves where you can also drill it into a stud to make sure it doesn't tip over. Like, it would need something like that. So I was kind of like roasting it when D showed me. It's like, yeah, he wants this for Christmas. I'm like, what? I think it's kind of lame. I think the currency was the only way they can justify the needed extra server space. Oh, I don't think so at all. I think it's just, hey, we have a pipeline for money. Let's do it. I don't think it's really a question of, oh, we need to do this in order for housing to be viable. Yeah. You know how like some people are like, oh, you know, they're doing this because Microsoft or Activision told them to. No. Blizzard is fully capable of doing you know, making weird decisions or making predatory actions all by themselves. I'm not that kind of fanboy who will make excuses. You know, my copium's limited. There's a limit to my copium. I unless it's, you know, super confirmed, I'll never give Blizzard the excuse of, oh, the bigger company made the decision for them. No, sorry. Whoop. No, set me free. All right. We're just no Microsoft involved? No. I don't. I mean, if they verify it, cool. But before that, I'm never going to. You're never really going to catch me being like, oh, this surely must be a Microsoft thing, because Blizzard would never do that. Nah. So, you know, to me, that's being like a fanboy. That, and you'll notice, like, a lot of people, you know, when the Brutosaur did come out, you had those folks who were like, oh, look at them, bad Blizzard, blah blah blah. But then what did you see out in Dornagol? Fucking Brutosaurs everywhere. There's your resolve, folks. Sorry, those folks are very much in the minority. And I'm still in. Who am I in combat with? Now, oh, Jeeves is off cooldown though. Yes. All right. Gimme. Catch a tail into this, but is this Hearthsteel going to buy completed housing items or just mats to make the item? The former. Here, I'll do I still have the page up? Nope, I don't. Do I have it up? Sorry, I'm not going through stuff. Nope, that's not it either. It was somewhere. But yeah, there's like a dozen or so things that are available. Yeah. The reality is that Brutosaur Mount probably funded WoW for a while, so we can enjoy the content cadence we've been on. Probably. No, I don't buy that either. It's more money, but I don't think it's. I don't think we can say it went to exactly this. You know, according to them, it's just a thing on the balance sheet. You know, more stuff. What the heck? I'm getting sick just before raid night. Don't get sick, dude. Well, I mean, at least we're just doing like heroic with ults, so it's not like a huge dealy. I'm on my main, so worst comes to worst, I'll tank and someone will co-tank with me. Or go rest, you know. I wouldn't hate the idea if we could just buy Hearthsteel straight for gold. Like if I want $5 of Hearthsteel, I can spend. See that I think would be a very, very bad idea. Avari, I'm sorry. Translating to the WoW token first is the best way to go, because if gold went straight to Hearthsteel, then it would straight up be a gold sink. And in that case, it's like, why would we even bother? The whole point is to make money, right? But if gold just went into it, you would have this weird exchange of, okay, you would buy WoW token stuff, or you would buy gold with the WoW token in the hopes that it would translate better, like economically, if the pricing was good, because then you'd be able to buy effectively more the core that way. It'd be really weird, I think. Going the route that they suggest, it's much more clean. Much more clean. I won't be surprised if they eventually release a 3-person fly mount for $90. Oh, if that's all it does, I ain't gonna buy that. Yeah. I mean, there's already the hive mind is a weird mount. That doesn't quite work the same way. But yeah, just a 3-person fly mount, that's not worth it. I'd want real utility now. Give me give me a thing that spits out gilded crests or something like that. It won't, but yeah. But yeah, the reason why you don't just buy the items with gold is because there's already going to be a shitload of them. A lot of them. Okay, let me go to that page actually. I think I have to go that far. So like just a reminder of the things that you can get. So this is all data mine stuff, but these are the things that you'll buy with Hearthsteel. Plushies, right? You have this chair right over here. I believe it might come in like different flavors. I don't know if you can dye it or not. Maybe that's the thing, maybe not. But it's basically like this kind of like spring floral kinds of stuff. And then that down here are like a selection of like gnome, not gnome as in WoW gnomes, but garden gnomes. So a different sort of vibe that may or may not work. But you can see like at least the picture here. So this is what they mean by the gnomes. And that's it. So how many items? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19 things so far. So far. And if that's going to break you, then it broke you. And some people will want it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm all done a bit, to be honest. Somehow it's high for the garden gnome. Wanted to make a whole gnome village outside. That killed the idea for me. Ah, got it. Yeah, so you have to settle for actual WoW gnomes. The cherry blossom stuff and plushies are must-have items. I remember seeing lots of different plushies, though. So if I type in... So, like, what other plushies are there? There's a Alec plushie. That's the shop stuff. Here's a raptor. Oh, and that's it right now. Okay. Or at least the things that are called plushies. So. Me, I want a shield. That's what I want to cuddle with at night. Shields, baby. There are tons of Murloc plushies in the newest build. Yeah, I remember seeing those. I think they're just not labeled the same way, so I do not know what they mean. Oh, I never said side to Sin Hotlanta or to Raquel. Thank you for the subs, guys. My bad. I don't want stuffies. Yeah, I want pets, dude. I want puppies. Yo. Bring on the puppies. And if those are going for Hearthsteel, well, so be it. I guess I'm gonna make some gold. So. Now, one... help correct me here. I believe Final Fantasy XIV also sells a certain kind of ink. Not ink. A certain kind of dye. And I don't think you can get it anywhere else. Or can you? I'm kind of going off memory here. If they were to sell if they were to sell dye with Hearthsteel, then I'd be like, oh man, that's kind of fucked up. To me, that would be a line. You know, an actual consumable thing that you can like not spend, that you basically lose if you were to, that you can consume below. That I think would not be a good idea. You can get metallic dye for real money, but you can also get... Okay, so you can get it in game. Okay. So it just has a premium version of it, but it's not actually different. It's just one that you can buy. But so the process of getting the in-game version, is it hard to do? Is it hard to do? Is it time gated? Yeah, because I don't know. It's usually tied to more end-game related activities and time sinks. So would you say, you know, and so in simple terms, like, is it something that's like a limited resource? Like, people can only really acquire so many of them because of some sort of gating, whether it's, you know, limited time, limited events or whatnot. But then outside of it, you can just buy it from the store too. It's like a rep vendor. I guess the point I'm trying to get to is, like, if I'm a person who wants to buy a bunch of them because I want to set up like all my different glamours to, like, okay, I want most of these things to be this color or black basically. What I end up needing to use the shop for, I guess. So it's do what you focus on. Okay. All right. I still find that to be like, you're kind of stepping over the line there. You know, so for the folks out there, and I'm one of them, who are like, oh, I really want dyes to come in game. What will they do with that when they finally get around to it? You know, imagine them selling colors. Ooh, man. I think that'd be kind of fucked up. So it's very expensive in game to get, but you can spend $5 for a few on the shop. Yeah. Yeah, I'm typically a bit more patient than that. I'm like, I can wait. I can deal with it. It's leaving a bad taste for you. That sucks. 30 sold some recolors of transmog sets. Yep. Which I find interesting, you know, like to me, that kind of dismantles some of the arguments that some people make about, well, clearly all the best stuff comes from the shop. I'm like, yeah, but they're just recolors too. Are they really? I don't know. You know, some of the cool things we can get from the trading post, you know, those are things that we can get that, you know, recolors of those come from the shop. And some people are like, well, you know, that's the best version comes from the shop. I'm like, well, that's very relative, you know. Not everyone's gonna feel the same way about colors. I mean, it would be even crazy because we now have a dye system with 62 unique color options already coming. If they ever get around to dyes, I expect it to be like housing stuff, some but not as dyeable, and I would expect it to use the same colors and a system. I mean, the thing is, the core is also, you know, much less complicated. So they would need to kind of design the, you know, they would need to design armor sets kind of like the same way they do now with tier. They would need to have like certain color palettes or color channels. So I don't know. I mean, this opens up, like someone mentioned earlier in the stream, this brings up the whole slippery slope of, okay, what if they do this? What if they do this? And I at least want to be careful about diving too deep down that rabbit hole, because we can never find a bottom to it. We can always come up with even worse ideas that might come to pass, or that we've seen Blizzard like never really skirt, but we always like bring it up anyway because we really want to be like upset about something. Because boy, does that do well for the clicks. Speculation is fun, but it's different when and I accuse myself of doing this sometimes too. Speculation becomes less fun when we get stuck on an idea, especially one that is more like kind of like a doomer speak. And when someone tries to bring up a counterpoint, you're like, you're such a shill. Oh my god, shut up. You know, and we clap back on something like that. Then it becomes less fun, because then we start attacking each other on these things just because, oh my god, I'm presenting an alternative idea? No way, that's not allowed. So It's fun until it's not. Opinions are PvP. I kind of like that. All right, there's a bunch of garbage that I have. I know there's like some greens, but I'm pretty sure these don't really sell for anything. Yeah, I'm not very good at selling transmog, so I'll just let these go. Oh, but I did unlock some transmog. Hey, look at that. I mean, unless I see something that's going for like a bajillion gold, then I'm not gonna bother. It's okay. Yeah, like 5 grand. Those are all like placeholder prices for the most part. If where's all that Biffa stuff? Okay, so this stuff too. Okay, so anything good there? Nope. I really should just like put these on a auto sell thing. I'm not gonna bother with these. All right. What's that bag out on? It's called Sorted. Sorted. I have not checked if this works on the alpha, but I have a feeling it's not. It's not updated very often, which is very unfortunate. Okay, so I now have 38. No, 36. The ones on the other character don't count. I need a total of 45, so like 3-4 more runs and I'm done. For now. For now. I love to color transmog sets and just make each difficult tier add new effects to the gear. I also wouldn't mind if only dyeable sets like that are the last Titan sets and after. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. Like, I don't see them creating dyeable gear across the past 20 years of WoW. That would be insane. I don't see that happening. That's one of those situations where it's like, okay, I know I don't like saying, oh, that's too much Blizzard, that's too much work for Blizzard to do. I think in this case, that's a lot. And I don't know if I'd be interested in, taking these old 2004 sets and giving them dyeable channels and stuff, and it's still gonna look all pixelated and stuff. It's just like, oh, it's a different color. Whoa, check it out, guys. I don't think I'd be very fond of that. Going forward, though, yeah, absolutely. This is the new generation of armor sets. Cool. But I also want to be careful what I wish for too. Like what I also don't want to see, and I'm sure that Blizzard feels the same way, and that's why they're not doing dyeable gear yet, is if it takes too much effort to make one set, then we're just going to see overall fewer kinds of sets of gear. Or, of ensembles and what have you, because it takes that much more of an investment of time and work or whatever to make that happen. But I also don't know how the whole process works anyway. So I'm just kind of going with that. Well, like if I recall, I think Final Fantasy XIV they tend to have fewer kinds of sets, but they just look really good. But there's fewer. So what would I rather have? Would I prefer quantity over quality? For me, yes, because I think I just like having the variety. For me, come on, look at me. Look at my end game. Fucking random. This is peak transmog, dude. Did I do the giveaway? I did, yeah. I already had that given away. I haven't changed the title. Sorry about that. But we'll be wrapping up pretty soon too. I just know I can't do anything about the YouTube stream. I can't change the title on that, unfortunately. We end up BFA tier. Yeah. Like I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to have like an armor type I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to have sets just based on armor types. I want to have it with, you know, having all the different classes. Like, that's fun. It's subjective. Some of them suck, like sorry hunters, most of the time. But I think like if they can come up with a process, or if they can, you know, if this is something in development, but they're working on making it so that they can still produce the same number of sets as they normally do, by all means, definitely do it. Yeah. Few vanilla items I'd love to see dyeable, like as a collector, there's a few crop top style chest items that come in 1 or 2 colors that I need in purple. Yes, all I need in WoW is more purple options that are not dresses. Hey, there are a lot of purple things that aren't dresses. I mean, I look at the plate stuff though, so I guess that would be the next step though. One of the next steps would be to loosen transmog restrictions even more, so that way people can just have more, you know, so people just wear more stuff. The only thing that I still draw the line at classes, though. I still think that class sets should be class sets still. You know, it helps to give identity to that class. But, you know, if there are at least 3 colors that are class specific while others are not, then I think that's a fair trade-off. Here's a skull on your shoulder and some bones or something. Yeah. I mean, it sucks for hunters because it's like a lot of the time they need to base it on something that they kill in the raid or in you know, close to the area where they're at, so that at least the set makes sense. But then sometimes people don't really care about that, and then it's like, oh, then we got problems. Trying to loot. There we go. I don't really need to skin all these guys, but it's a little bit more. Why not? You're ready for the troll raid? That would be funny. The troll players who wear that and are like, oh man, my friends. Alright, so yeah, tonight's plan for raid is probably going to be heroic with alts. See how far we get. How far we get last time? Yeah, I don't remember how far we got last time with alts. Oh, I'm sure they should give us armor type less chest mugs, like the skirts that are just basic tops. We have these cute skirts and maybe 3 tops that I can wear with each one, if that. Like, non-specifically, I would like to see tattoos. I would definitely want to see something like, you know, not transmog, but just something that's unlockable in the shop. So if I want to have like tattoos on the face, on the chest, or on the back, or whatever, and then it would, you know, it wouldn't replace. And then, you know, and if I wore a shirt on top of it, I could still see it. I just want something like that. God bless, it's so easy. Just do it. It's probably hella not easy, but still. Right, I got to get out of here so I can do the roulette. Actually, wait, I think I could do it while in combat with this thing. Aha. Aw, there goes the good transmog, though. That's a bummer. Well, what do we get this time? Oh, the shoulders never changed. Oh, they never changed. How odd. Well, that's the odds for you. I do like this helmet, though. It's a very cool helmet. I felt like one of those kids who's dressed up like a superhero, and they got like all the coolest, flashiest parts, and now they're like good to go. Yeah, let's go. Where's the helmet from? It's from BFA stuff, but I don't remember exactly. It's called the Wrathbark Great Helm. Wrathbark Great Helm. I believe there was like some special stuff I had to do. Not too special, but there was some stuff I had to do to unlock that thing. We should at least choose how our weapons are displayed by selecting the location of our character when sheathed, like weapons that don't sheath on the back, or how weapons that Do sheet on the back disappear if you wear an item other than a cloak on your back? Oh, like that. Okay, I get that. Oh, was it Shadowlands? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So y'all know. I just collected. Oh, it's from Arden Wheel. Okay, yeah, I had like the whole dress thing on my mind when seeing that. Okay, cool. Make tattoos like the blood troll ones that take up the shirt slot. No, I don't. I wouldn't even want it to be a shirt slot. I want it to be like something in the barbershop. So just like, you know, make it a thing. That's part of the character. I mean, there's a lot of things that I want from the barbershop. Like, I want to be on a human character, and I want to go to the barbershop, and if I want to say, hey, I want a cool turn body, give me a cool turn body. Why? Because they're human too. Dude. Same thing with Worgen. Yo, I want my human form to look like a cool Tyrion or something like that, because I can, because that's what humans look like too. Just finished the last video with Hearthsteel. You mentioned you can't obtain it in game, but technically you can because they also mentioned the WoW token. You bothered to grant it. Yeah. But I think you know what I mean by that. Folks don't really. I say that too, but folks really don't buy into that argument. Yeah, well, it's still technically a premium currency, though. Okay, get off me. Barber Steel. Yeah, that's the next step. Gear dye needs to be a thing. I get it, but I'm sure it's not as easy as we say it is. It just needs to be a thing. Yeah, just do it. Remember when you pay real money? Yeah, remember those days, guys? You had to do like a character customization change and all that. That was wild. Just got my prismatic bauble. So again, WoW broke. For now, I get to macro this. Prismatic bauble. That sounds familiar. Shadowlands PTSD. Thankfully, I had a mostly decent experience. I got lucky. Because I don't look at... Because this is what happens when you don't have a very critical eye for World of Warcraft lore. I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's cool. Meanwhile, we see people bringing up the whole allegory of genocide and like how races aren't being represented and, you know, concept of death and all that stuff. And all it's like, oh, okay, cool. More transmog? Fuck you. In some ways, I'm like the worst commentator of things because I'm just like, ooh, look. Woohoo. I'm easy to please, man. I'm very simple-minded like that. Oop, go this way. Because in the end, never ever forget the video game. Relax, playing with pixels, doing stuff, getting our dopamine hits and all that. But no, I will unironically praise Shadowlands for being an expansion that went balls deep into transmog. That expansion opened the doors. and there was you know, harassment lawsuits that came during that time. But still, leadership got totally shook out. But still, transmog, oh, man, went crazy. People like all horde leaders get killed, and I'm like sitting here being like, okay, you get so much steam trans. Yeah, did they drop anything good? What kind of mount did they drop? Hey, look at that. It was alright, but it was a worse expansion for me. I read that they were retconning Shadowlands and Midnights. I haven't seen anything about that. Yeah. There might be specific things that are like clarified, or it turns out that, oh, well, that's just one perspective. Here's what's happening from this other point of view. Could be like that. There are specific things that I really didn't like about Shadowlands. To me, one of the biggest red flags, or the biggest like pain points, was there were like very, very few side quests. Very, very few. It was sad. Like, I wanted to learn more about Bastion, and mostly Bastion. I wanted to learn more, but no. So we end up like not really learning very much about the Shadowlands and the workings and like the day-to-day. So that blew. You know, I joked when Dragonflight was coming out, we started doing coverage. I was like, yo, dude, there are more side quests in the first zone of Dragonflight than I think all of Shadowlands. Holy smokes. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's almost true. Having that side shit, it's important. It's helpful. Brings context, brings these zones to life. It gives a little bit more of an attachment, you know? And I liked Bastion. I think it was a great zone. The music was banging, too. Very, very different vibe. Biggest problem with Shadowlands was how many stupid campaign quest lines you had to do just to get anywhere. When I was loving with my wife through there were so many places I couldn't take her because of the campaign. Getting Sojourner and Dragonflight was pretty involved, especially. Yeah. Shadowlands was very, very thin. It was very thin, and then there wasn't really anything that was added to it later. Yeah, it just didn't feel great. So when later patches didn't really add anything to it, I was like, oh, darn. You know, to me, that was a big bummer. Yeah, there's no time walking raid for Legion. Legion time walking. Funny. Okay, so am I outside? I'm not outside. Oh yeah, I'm usually using my speed set too. I have not used it all day. Bummer. Black Temple as well, GM. Can't forget about Black Temple. It's an okay raid. While Shadowlands finally explained the angels, one sees, one dead, it did ruin a lot of the lore and made a big, generic, big bad. It's one of those, not exactly a don't meet your heroes kinds of things, but it did a bit too much to make the Shadowlands into not even like a mysterious place or this very important cog in the machine of how the Great Dark Beyond worked. It just feels like a place now. It's just a place. And it happens to be where all the dead people go, where they get processed, you know? But you can just go there. And we do that every now and then, even after Shadowlands happen. We just go there because we're the Falcon Mall Walker, man. We can do what we want. Yeah, we just go there and do stuff. Next, yeah. So it's it ruins that air of mystery. You know, same thing with the whole Zareths and all that. Like, Blizzard was trying too much to explain things that really didn't need to be explained. They could have just been, you know, the old gods could have been mysterious boogeymen for years and years and years. But now we kind of have an idea what's going on. Same thing with the Legion. The Legion could have been, instead of like being shattered the way it was, it could have been like, you know, very, very much held back. But they could still be like a specter, a twinkle in our eye, like some hidden horror that we need to be ever vigilant. Nah, not anymore. We fucked them up. You know, I think there's like some question that's going to follow up on that later on, but for the most part, in the meantime, we tore them up. They're all jacked up. So, oh well. Okay, so how many crates? So I have 40. So yeah, 2 more runs, and then I'll be good to go. Woohoo! So the recon is that Shadowlands is probably a Titan construct that is not reality. Oh, so instead of I guess I'll have to wait until we get to that point, because that's a big one. So Shadowlands is not this whole Zareth thing that's made by the so-called first ones or whatever. There are 2 classes entirely themed around demons in the Cosmic Forest. One of the big 6 is not really a thing anymore, and that's kind of sad. Wait. There are 2 classes themed around demons, and this Cosmic Forest, one of the big 6, that's not really... Oh, okay. What are we doing today? Oh, I'm going to be heading out in a bit, actually, Steven. Yeah, lunch is coming up, and then I got a weekly to write, and, you know, I got some input from you guys, but I'm going to be looking around to see what other reactions there are to Hearthsteel, and I'll touch on that on the weekly, get some more reactions from what people are saying about it so far. What else was there this week? There are some other like earlier items that people are have been talking about. Oh, the Ian interview. So like the whole thing about not so much the add-on stuff, but more like the influence of creators and how that kind of homogenize the feedback that they get. So I like that we've hooked up the Legion. It gave us a sense that we're actually doing something in the universe. It also kind of shows us that while the Legion is a bunch of demons hopped up on corrupted blood, we're essentially Legion 2.0 hopped up on Prime World Soul uncorrupted blood. Oh, that's kind of an interesting viewpoint. Yeah. Wouldn't make sense if we had the Zareth Mort that literally shows constructs that predates the Hell. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, what that person discovered, I didn't really look at it, so I really don't have I don't have anything to refer to make a counterpoint or anything. But oh well, sucks to be me. All right, so I think we're good to go for today, right? I got me plenty of spare crates. I made some really good headway into this, so off I go. I'm gonna do some weekly stuff. I still want to. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze this in for tomorrow, but I do want to talk about how to prepare for housing. It's going to be mostly like a pep talk, a lecture or whatnot on mental health and trying to and you know, really focusing on giving people the tools that they need, so that way when it really comes time to do your housing stuff, you'll be in a good spot. Because the last thing I want to do is prevent people. I want to stop people from overwhelming themselves with like everything that's coming and how to get all these things, and that's just not good. So off I go. You guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys for the next thing, and until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay breezy.